What's going on, my peoples? It's your boy, Mr. OBF, back one time for your mouth. Welcome to the OBF the Network, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. And if you can, donate to the channel. Go to OBF the Real Cash App. We highly appreciate anything you guys could donate to the channel. All right, people, let's get it in real quick, man. Listen. The bad part about it is sad that we got to keep having this conversation about the United States of America. Listen, the country is what it is. You see a lot of like realistic black people saying, "Hey, look, it just is what it is." We don't get that. We're not what's the word I'm looking for? We're not shocked or surprised about something fell. We're not shocked and surprised about things that are happening in this country right now in the last couple of years. We're not shocked. It's bad to say this in a way. This is kind of normal to black people in this country. We understood when the Republican Party and MAGA, Trump, whatever, they got in office, what was going to happen. And a part of it was because we paid attention. We believed Trump when the Republicans, when they said when they get into power, this is what they was going to do. So we didn't think, oh, nah, he ain't gonna do this. He just over exaggerating, or he's, saying this shit to get a rise out of people. You know what I mean? Like, nah, we knew what Trump and his administration and these Republicans was gonna do. They was already doing some of it anyway. Even when Biden was in office. So you seen the writing on the wall. I'm just shocked that people are still on national TV pretending that, or just people, period. A lot of people are still sitting there acting like they're shocked by this shit. Or they like, oh, I don't like that this happened. Well, you knew this shit was going to happen. They already told y'all. But let's get into this, people.
A quote, "Someone's gonna get killed." That chilling premonition coming from a federal agent just days before Renee Good and Alex Preddy were killed at the hands of federal immigration agents in January. A new CNN investigation called 18 Days in Minnesota looks behind the scenes into the fateful days surrounding the deaths of Good and Preddy 6 months ago. The report examines how...
Listen, first of all, even before Alex Preddy and Renee Good, before they even got killed, they already had killed somebody. Right? So the writing was already on the wall. And the crazy part about it, the brother that got killed, and I think it was another Mexican person, got killed in LA, and that was a Democrat state. So right there should let you knew what was going to happen. Right? So the writing was already on the wall. So, and the one thing I always keep telling people about white people, right? A lot of white people. Listen, the one thing that white people, regardless of where they live, right? Or what state they in, or who's running the state. The one thing about white people, they do not like law enforcement, especially the federal government, coming into their communities. They don't like that shit. And so you was going to see an uprising that happened in Minnesota the way it did. Right? Like they was going into the suburbs of where a lot of these white people were and fucking shit up. Like they would literally, ICE was going in there doing all types of crazy shit. Like they would, listen, the shit that they was doing in some of these white communities, they wasn't doing that shit in black communities. I'm telling y'all that. They was not doing that. Number one, it's too many black people in black communities, right? So we may have some illegal immigrants here and all that other shit, but in our communities, but it's black people there. And the one thing about black people is that, number one, we mind our business, but the other part is when you start militarizing a community, a black community, the black community get militant. They start to get militant. And so at this point, like I keep trying to tell y'all, listen, I'm not saying it ain't ICE and shit in the black community going around, but they're not doing a lot of the shit that they're doing in some of these communities, these white communities, these Latino communities. And the Latino people, Mexican people, they live amongst us. So they're not just going willy-nilly everywhere in black communities. They're not doing that. Listen, number one, black people outside, right? If we going to work or not, we outside. So you can't do a lot of that shit ICE do in black communities like that. It will be in my view, be a big backlash. But I think the reason that y'all don't see the country on fire the way it's supposed to be is because black people are not getting involved. And they're not in our country. I mean, in our communities like y'all think. But we're not getting involved. I think that's the reason this shit continue to keep happening. But I think I always tell black people there's no need for us to get involved or upset about this. Because we tried to warn people, and at the same time, they're waiting on black people to do some, like, you know how we do, right? Like we're not like everybody else when we protest. But they're waiting on to do that so they can start, so Trump can start doing the shit, like amp up shit the way he want to. Trump is really actually frustrated because some of that he's not getting the response from the black community like he thought. So that's why you see the outrage from white liberals. Because they're more outraged than everybody. Because the shit is happening in their communities a lot more than people think, right? And black people are minding our fucking business at this point. Because we're almost fatigued from keep trying to tell y'all the same shit over and over again. And we told y'all this was going to happen. So, no, we're not doing that. But anyway, let's move on.
Aggressive enforcement policies contributed to the deaths of 2 American citizens, how lying about violence committed by federal agents became a reoccurring pattern, and how federal law enforcement broke from precedent and refused to cooperate with local authorities looking to investigate. For the first time.
And listen, and you got to understand, if you ask any of these ICE agents or people that's in the federal government falls under the Trump administration, they're all to tell you, and they're in different entities of far parts of the different parts of the justice system or the federal government, where a lot of these people, they don't really work for the president, right? But everybody, I'm telling you, a lot of them will admit and come out. Shit, they just did it in a Senate hearing or a hearing in Congress where the motherfucker, he don't supposed to be working. You don't work for Trump. You work for the American people. I think it was something about like banks or something. They just, lawsuits and shit, something like that with the banks because they, banks be scamming. They be taking, they be doing fuck shit. And the dude literally said, I think one of the Congress people asked him, who do you work for? And he said, I work for the president of the United States. And the fucking congresswoman, she went off. She was like, no, you don't. Paraphrasing, like, no, you don't. You work for the American people. You don't work for Donald Trump. You don't work for the president. But a lot of people in the federal government, FBI agents, ICE agents, all of them, they all think they work for Trump. They work for Trump law. They don't work for the United States, the law. They don't. And so that's why you're seeing them lie or the cover up. And on the other part of that is that you wondering why they covering shit up is because the fucking commander in chief is a fucking liar and a criminal. What do criminals do? Criminals lie. So I don't understand why people so shocked that these people, the Trump administration, they're covering this shit up and lying about it. Like, they work for a liar. They work for a convicted felon. So, do it shock you? This nigga is a criminal. He literally is a criminal. So, you got a criminal literally running the country, the head honcho. You wonder why they lying and committing crimes and you know what I mean? Like, anyway, let's move on.
We're exclusively hearing on camera from Tom Calhoun Lopez, one of the federal prosecutors who resigned in protest.
Hundreds of agents were flooding in from out of district. They weren't familiar with Minnesota communities. They weren't familiar with Minnesota residents. And operationally, they were in a paramilitary posture as well. They were heavily armed.
And as well, he's talking about they didn't know Minnesota. These people come from different states and shit. Because some of them came from Memphis and Texas. Some of these federal ICE agents. And Border Patrol people and shit like that. I always want y'all to understand too the difference. You can't get the military to do that. Right? You can't get the military, you can't bring the military in like that to do shit like that. They got a whole different types of protocol than even an FBI or the ICE agents, right? Their protocol is way different. So that's why when you start seeing like they call it a National Guard, you notice in DC you don't hear about the National Guards and them getting into shit like that because you can't order them to do that because they go by a different protocol. So, you know, that's why you see the ICE agents and even some of these federal FBI agents go rogue, or they doing all types of crazy shit, killing people, beating people, ramming people, because they're working under a different type of protocol and structure, right? So you're not going to see the National Guard or the military do this type of shit. First of all, listen. If the military was doing some shit like this, the uproar of the government, what would happen? Like, it's probably, like, you couldn't hide that. Because you got to understand, these are military people. They don't fight domestic shit, right? They fight a shit abroad. Right? They're not supposed to be fighting us. So they go by a different protocol. That's why you're seeing all the reckless shit that these people are doing. I mean, these ICE agents, these agencies are doing. Then you got to think about it. Even with the local police, they under a strict protocol. That's why when you see a lot of this shit happening from these ICE agents, you see the police, they're not even never around because they don't want to even be associated with that shit. So I'm telling you, it's different levels of what the fuck is going on, and people don't understand it. That's why ICE is getting the bad rep that they're getting. That's why people was like, this is a rogue agency, because we know the local police is not rocking with them. I try to tell y'all that. They're not going to rock with the fucking federal government. Listen, it's already tension between the local law enforcement and the federal law enforcement. Already tension there. And then these motherfuckers is doing reckless shit that they're doing, these ICE agencies. The police are not going, they ain't even around when this shit happens. They come after this shit happens. They're not even helping them. The local police, even in like red states, they're not helping the federal government, this ICE agent shit. They're not even around. And they still got to protect and serve the communities. So they don't got time to be riding around with fucking federal ICE agents. They still got to do the local crime shit, or try to keep it under a wrap, or not under a wrap, but try to take care of the community, make sure the community is safe. They don't got time to be chasing these motherfuckers around, following them around, making sure they do the right thing. So yeah, and the military, same shit. That's why Trump can't bring the military in states like that. He can't do it. When they had the National Guard out there, that was the military from the federal government. That wasn't the local shit. Even when they had the local federal, the local National Guards, they couldn't do too much shit. They just was moving militant through communities, scaring people. They rarely was doing shit. It usually be the ICE agents doing fuck shit. It's not the military. People, I keep telling y'all. The country will be in an uproar if the military did a lot of shit that ICE agents was doing in this country. You probably would see people in the military quit being in the military. It'd be a big ass protest in the military. But anyway, let's move on.
They were in masks, they patrolled in combat gear, and their ethos was of a military occupying force. Their mission seemed to be to subdue the state and to bring it to heel.
You know from occupation because you're a veteran.
That's correct. I deployed to Iraq twice, once as a field artillery officer and once as an Army judge advocate.
And two, I want people to understand something. The reason that the ICE agents are getting the feedback that they're getting, like people ain't rocking with that shit, and it's noticeable all the shit that why people, the other shit that people not rocking with this shit. The reason they not getting backed because the local police don't have their back. It don't matter where they go. The local law enforcement is not backing them. And then, like I said, the military, they only can back them so far. So they're not out there backing them. So at this point, you're just a rogue agency. You out there, bitch. That's why they fucking up. They're getting into these controversies and shit. They're killing people, murdering people, beating people, and shit like that. And they're getting a bad look. It's because none of the other agencies are backing them. Not even the DEA and shit like that. I'm just telling y'all. Because I'm telling you, if they was getting back from the military and the local police was backing them and rocking with them, it probably wouldn't. This shit could be even 10 times worse. 10 times worse than what they're doing. They would amp it up even more. This shit is almost light at this point. Not people dying, but it might be a higher death toll if they had all these other entities of law enforcement backing them. So, y'all remember that.
You have that kind of occupation?
It did. Through 2 different deployments, I got to see what a military occupation looked like. And unfortunately, Operation Metro Surge had all the hallmarks of a military occupation.
The administration.
Now, and another thing, this is a former military person, and I think he's a former prosecutor for the federal government. You got to think about this. That's why, even though you come from being a military person, right, and you get into your country, like far as the United States, like any type of level of policing, right? How can I put this? It's almost like you gotta switch your thought process up, right? Because serving in the military is way different from being a regular police officer or federal agent, right? It's different. So that's why they still have to go through training and schooling and all that shit. And they have to do that. They got to redo a whole shit because the protocols are different. But if you got a former veteran, somebody that is some type of law enforcement too, and got as many as years under his belt as being a local, not local, but like a federal agent or some shit, right? Or a police officer. And they got a military background, and this and that, and these type of people tell you this shit is harmful, this shit is gonna get people killed or whatever. And they understand all levels of being being militant, military, and local police or federal police, law enforcement. They're telling you this shit ain't right. You believe them. You don't second guess them because they're more qualified to speak about this shit than any of us because they know how this shit can go. So when this dude says what he's saying, I'm not like, oh, he over-exaggerating this shit. No, because he didn't seen it all. He been on all sides of this shit. He been in the military. He been a federal agent and everything. And I think he was a prosecutor too. Well, I know he was a prosecutor. That's why he quit. So he been on all parts of this shit. So yeah, I'm going to take him at his word. Is he 100%? No, of course, nobody is. But 95% I'm taking his word because he understands, because he's been in the military and he's been a federal agent. So he knows. But anyway, let's move on.
And unfortunately, Operation Metro Surge had all the hallmarks of a military occupation.
The administration eventually withdrew from Minnesota, Geraldo, but no sense that there were any real policy changes that came along with that. I mean, this report really
and let me say this, Geraldo, and I remember the level of respect that people had for Geraldo because we knew he was a journalist, he was a minority, he was highly well respected. And we know that, and I keep telling you about some of these people, they're not stupid. They're highly intelligent. That's mega people. And when he turned mega, he just started, even now, he just sounds like he's dumb. He sounds stupid. It's like he almost seemed like you can tell he's trying to play dumb. And it's almost more offensive that he's trying to play dumb, even if he was just this stupid and idiotic that he didn't know, right? It's even worse because you know that he's just dumbing himself down. And he's pretending like he's like confused of what the fuck is going on. Or he didn't know this was going to be highly possible of this type of behavior from Trump or this administration. Like, you voted for this shit, bro. You knew what type of person Trump was. But anyway, but my whole point was he was highly respected, and people just look at him like, yo, you're just dumb. But he's not dumb. They dumb themselves down to fit into this mega bullshit. But anyway, let's move on.
A pattern of lying, a pattern of cover-ups, and also the disregard for process at the expense of the lives of American citizens.
And one thing, and let me say this too, this is what you're starting to see with good reporters or good people that are doing a job in the mainstream media, where they're just saying shit is just a lie. They're not saying people are not telling the whole truth, or, you know, you get what I mean? Like, they're just calling shit a lie because shit is just a lie. You can't even say like, oh, well, maybe they didn't give all the information out. And that's why I don't agree with all what Abby does and says, but sometimes she hit the shit nailed on the coffin where you just can't even use certain words. You just got to use the word that actually fits. Shit is just a lie. It ain't misleading or they're not telling the whole truth. And no, some shit is just a lie. And I'm glad that she's saying a lot of this shit. Shout out to my brother LT in the middle. What up, L? Nah, listen, I ain't seen that yet. You gotta send that to me. Nah, I ain't seen that. I ain't seen that video. I seen Brandon Tatum go sit down with the judge, one of the kids that was friends with Noah. I seen him do a sit down with him. Well, I seen parts of it. I ain't see all of it. But yeah. You gotta send me that shit.
Thanks to Tapper and the whole team. We don't do enough, hard looks, long-term looks.
If you're
With the
looking to
fuck
get money
commercial,
to
man.
road for an injury, I want you to imagine you and your family getting that money, because I know a way that you can. Now, before you think I'm crazy, I want to show.
Don't do enough, hard looks, long-term looks. To me, the image of the masked ICE agent, masked alone, no FBI mask, no sheriff's mask, no cop mask, but those guys, ICE and those masks, and then
Now listen, I'm gonna tell you something that I had to notice about people like Geraldo and certain motherfuckers like that. They're trying to, the motherfuckers that try to be on the fence with shit, they start like almost, it seems like they're stuttering, but they're not. They're looking for words, so they won't offend the MAGA base, but at the same time try to call shit out the way they do, right? Like what they supposed to. Instead, they trying to mince words, if that makes sense. So that's why it seems like Geraldo is stuttering, or that's probably why he's stuttering, or it seems that way, because he's just trying to mince words. He's trying to find the right word so he won't offend the MAGA side or Trump or whatever the fuck he trying to do. But at the same time, he want to play like he calling some shit out, but he really not. But anyway, let's move on.
the dead, the beginning of those two, and then 7 more recent weeks and months. It's a horrifying. They wrecked the U.S. Attorney's office in that town. Bovino became the face of immigration enforcement.
And what do you mean by wrecking the attorney? People quit. Like, literally prosecutors quit. Because they was like, yo, we're not prosecuting people for bullshit that y'all talking about they did. This shit don't even make any sense. We're not even taking this shit to the grand jury. Like, they was arresting American citizens for nothing, nigga. People just out there peacefully protesting. They was just locking people up. So they ain't do no violence or nothing like that. Motherfuckers was getting arrested for blowing whistles and shit. Like, you get what I mean? All types of goofy shit. But, excuse me, they was locking people, and the prosecutor was like, I'm not doing that shit. And so that's why you see a lot of the prosecutors, the federal prosecutors in that state was like, yo, we're not doing that. We're not charging these people. I'm not doing that. I'm not being a part of this bullshit. And so they, like you said, they, like Geraldo said, they basically destroyed the fucking federal prosecution office in Minnesota. That's what he's talking about. People quit because of this shit. But anyway, let's move on.
To close the border. Bravo, and I think he deserves props for that. It was chaotic on the
People, listen, I want to say this too. What they call closing the border is that they're not allowing, you know how like immigrants and shit would come and try to They may come in droves and come in because, whatever, to look for, to come and try to get citizenship. They closed that. They're not even allowing anybody from any parts of the border, because we got two main borders, right? One that's at the Mexican border and one in the Canada border, right? They're not even allowing people to even come in, like, do it the right way. They're not even letting people come that way. So that's what they call shutting down the border. The border is not literally shut down like it's nothing coming through there, right? Because we still got to have goods and shit coming back from Mexico, whatever, right? In Canada. These shits are, this shit's still happening. The border's still functional. The only thing they're not doing is they're not allowing people to come to try to get citizenship. That's what they call shutting down the border. So that's all that is.
But now that he's closed it, to treat migrants in this way as if they were somehow subhuman, and the people that support them are complicit in the eyes of these paranoid paramilitary forces. It's
Just finding this out.
awful what happened. What happened to
No,
Minneapolis?
no, it's not. See, this is what I mean by Geraldo is missing his words and almost playing dumb. Like, you knew this was going to happen. If I knew this was going to happen, and I don't know Trump, personally, right? If I knew this was going to happen, how the fuck you didn't know? Or you just had blinders on? Or you just assumed because you knew him, he wasn't doing no shit like that. The man told you he was going to do that. But, anyway. Geraldo, this shit is sad. I don't like these people come out acting like they ain't know what was going to happen. This shit is almost more insulting than the motherfuckers telling you actually what they're doing and what they're trying to do. So, anyway.
Who are complicit in the eyes of these paranoid paramilitary forces.
Just finding this out.
Awful what happened. What happened to Minneapolis was terrible, but what's happening to the millions of undocumented immigrants in this country, some of them for decades, many of them without any blemish, not even a speeding ticket, their children, citizens, how they have now been terrorized, beginning in Minneapolis, terrorized in these other communities.
And let me say the reason that this is happening. They just remember they saying, which I thought I knew was bullshit, and I knew it was going to be casualties that happen with this type of immigration policy that Trump came up with of like saying, "Oh, we only going after the criminals." You don't know who the fuck is a criminal. So, listen, it's impossible. Listen, let me just explain something to y'all. It is a different from they know, put it this way, they know that the illegal immigrants that commit crimes in this country, they know is well documented on a state level and federal level. And it's not hard for them to get a lot of this information from the state level, right? Because this is a federal, immigration is a federal thing as much as if it's a state thing. So they in cahoots, they know who is committed crimes or not, right? I keep telling y'all, it's not a lot of illegal immigrants that are committing crimes. It's not a high percentage of that shit. It's not. Right? So when they say, "Oh, well, we just going after the criminals." Okay. But you already know who all the criminals are. Right? You know that on a federal level and a local level. In every state. It's not like complicated, right? Now, After that happens, all right, you get all the illegal immigrants that commit crimes. Okay, then after you get all these motherfuckers, like I told you, it's not a high percentage of that. You get all of them, then what? They're going to start rounding up illegal immigrants that don't commit crimes. Even though now, then the process, the talking points change. Now they're saying anybody that's here illegally, they're all committing crimes. You've seen them change the narrative. And so now they're just locking up people, all of them now, if they get them. And then that's a certain percentage of people that's here illegally. And then when they get a nice portion of them, then what they do? They started to, when they found out that wasn't a big number like that, right? They started to go and round up people that was going to court, was here legally, or people here legally, they on visas or whatever, they're trying to get citizenship or whatever, they round those people up. And that's all that happened. It all trickles down. When they don't have a cap of what they're trying to do. So it is what it is. And this is to keep pushing the narrative of fear-mongering about illegal immigrants. We still got illegals here. Illegals. They're not even saying, oh, we're just going after the criminals. They're saying anybody here that's here illegally. They go farther than that. They're locking people up here that are actually doing the right thing, trying to get their citizenship the right way. They're not actually literally here illegally. They went through the process. So that's what I mean. That's why I said, like, this shit thing got out of control, but it's not out of control because you can expect it. I expected this to happen because it was always fear-mongering. So let's move on.
Around the country, it is it's so disheartening to me. And what's the again another war? What's the end result of making tens of millions of many of them Latinos, making them the other is really it's
But guys,
It's no ending to this. It's no ending. They're gonna keep doing this shit until you get them out of power. Because this is their number one fear-mongering shit that they can feed to MAGA. And even to some of the so-called good folks. Right? Like, this is the narrative. So it's no end to it. They don't have any solutions. Mind you, where's the Republican or Trump policy to fix immigration? Everything that Trump is actually literally doing, a lot of this shit is on the books, but a lot of this is him pushing this shit to the extreme and executive orders. So it's not, a lot of this shit ain't law what he doing. This is executive order that he's taking the law and pushing it to an extreme level. That's it. So, is it wrong legally that Trump is just rounding up people that immigrants that's here illegal, that ain't committing crimes? No. Actually, Trump is not actually wrong legally wise. Honestly, he's not really wrong. The problem is he's lying. Oh, he lied. And he's lying about shit. And he's not giving people due process. So, he's bound by the law, but at the same time, he's breaking the law. So, it is what it is. That's why, in a way, Trump is keeping his core base like that, is because you can't really argue that he's actually doing something illegal when it comes to rounding up illegal immigrants, regardless if they commit crimes or not. They still here illegally. So that's why the base is still kind of backing him. And on top of that, they racist. So it is what it is.
Of making, tens of millions of many of them Latinos, making them the other is really, it's
I mean, Noah,
Look, guys, this doesn't make any sense to me. Does this fool Hispanic monopoly man not know at all who the Republican Party is that he's been a part of? He's been a part of this crap. He's just now realizing they see us Hispanics as subhuman. Wait till
No. It's not that. He like he said, he been knew that. Geraldo knew this. A lot of these people know that. They're just trying to save face now because they understand that the Republican Party, this MAGA party, is not going to be in power for forever. And you got midterm elections coming up, so now you're starting to see these people change their tune. That's all this shit is. They all know they on the wrong side of history. They all know that they on the wrong side. Listen, man. It's about power. At the end of the day, it's almost being on the side of power. Some people are in it for different reasons of why they do certain shit, but it's mainly be for power and money. That's all it is. And then the other part is because they could be scared. Or it could be the fourth thing. It's all above. They do it for all of it. All above of what I just said. So, Geraldo know what he's doing and know what he's saying. That's why he out there stuttering, sounding like a buffoon, acting like he so confused about what's happening. This shit is subhuman. Come on, bro. Like, come on. He know
what they think about black people and Muslims. It's just like these people are effing liars. Your little friends at Fox never gave you a hint.
Right. And then the bad part about it, these are the same people that keep trying to, they was moving with this movement that America is not racist. And then they get here now and it's almost, they're targeting people that's brown. Like, nigga, that's racism. So is the country racist or not? Like, so they're targeting people that's brown and black. Like, the fuck are we talking about? You can even leave black people out of this. They targeting brown people. That's racism. So racism still matter. Like I said, but these was the same people that pushed the narrative in 20 shit. Even when Biden was off, it put it that way. They was pushing America is not a racist country. Okay. Well, it's being proven that America is racist. So I don't know what you want. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to tell people that say that shit. It was like, America's not a racist country, or America is not as racist as it used to be. Bullshit. You're a damn lie. The Supreme Court said it was okay to racially profile people. That's racism. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Just because somebody look a certain type of way and they got an accent, it's okay for law enforcement to harass them and question them. That is racism. And only for a certain group of people. Only for a certain group of people. That's racism. That ICE is not going around to white people and saying, or people that look white or white, harassing them, saying, are you an American citizen? Let me see your papers. They're not doing that. So please stop. America is racist. It's been racist. And listen, probably as long as I keep living, and I'm 45, God willing, live this long and live some more many years, decades or whatever. America will always be racist as long as I'm living. You got hundreds of years of this shit. So, like, I don't understand why even people even say that shit. America's not a racist country. That was the most absurd, almost a spit into black people's face. That's why I got offended. I'm offended by that.
He's a journalist, guys, a famous one at that. But he is so surprised. If you are just truly surprised, Geraldo, and not just lying, you are a complete fool. Like, I hate this argument that Republicans try to make to save face. In my view, that's what they're doing. They're so shocked by Trump and what he's doing here or doing there. He said on his campaign,
they're not shocked. He said the right shit at first. They're just saving face. They're trying to play both sides. They ain't trying to offend the MAGA side, or you could say what, the liberal side, or people that's on the opposite side of that MAGA shit. That's all they're doing. They're trying to play the gray area. They're trying to be in the middle of this shit to save face later. See, look, I did say this back then when this was happening. Nah, bro. You was complicit. All of them are complicit. I'm sorry. You complicit. It's like me saying, oh, because I didn't do some of the shit that my street niggas did, the niggas I ran with, right? And they was involved with a lot of shit, but I was still with them. I still was rocking with them, but I ain't do a lot of shit that they did or was a part of. Somehow I'm still not complicit, even though I went along with it. Even if I disagree with it, but I ain't stand up or fight against it. I ain't spoke up against it. I ain't stopped doing it. Or I ain't try to stop them from doing it. I'm complicit. Regardless of how you look at that shit. I'm still rocking with these niggas. You complicit. You don't matter if you disagree with what they was involved in or you didn't like what they did. You still hung around them after it. You still fucked with them. You still did shit with them. Still supported them. And this is all people like Geraldo is trying to do now. Listen, I keep telling y'all, some shit is just black and white. It's no gray area. Some shit is gray area, some shit is not. This shit is not a gray area. You on that side or you're not. Right? Like you on the black side or you on the white side. And right now the white side look like trash. So you got to rock with the black side. There's no gray area. I'm not going to allow these people to try to play with our intelligence like that. It's no gray area. Shout out to my brother Bell in the building. What up, Brother Bell? But I'm not letting these people play my intelligence like that. Some shit is just black and white. There's no gray area in that. You pick a side, nigga. You pick a side. You rocking with us or you rocking with them? And if you rock with them, ain't no gray area. For a lot of shit in this country at this point. But anyway, let's move on.
right, we need one violent day against immigrants. And that's all we will need. He said immigrants were poisoning the blood of the nation. Literal words that Hitler said. And you still didn't have a hint.
And then mind you, do you understand? That's why I didn't understand people that are brown or black, regardless if you're an immigrant or not. Right? Or any type of different race of person or minority group. I didn't understand why y'all was okay with him saying that. Poison, immigrants are poisoning the blood of America. Like, the country is built on immigration. Whoever your forefathers are, right? to the history, go back. They all was immigrants. They wasn't from America. The country was built on immigration. However fucked up it was at the time when they did whatever they did, they was immigrants. Let me be very honest about this. You know who I think should be the most racist people in this country? Is honestly just on some racist shit. It's Native Americans and black people. But we're not. We're not nowhere compared to that. Like I always keep trying to tell y'all, people be like, oh, the Native Americans, you see the lighter ones, the lighter Native Americans. Listen, bro, they got black blood in them. They got African blood in them. Listen, back in the day, a lot of Native American people was my complexion. They wasn't like that, like y'all think. That's why, like, when you talk about slavery and shit, like back in the day, y'all kept thinking it just was about Africans or black African people. Listen, a lot of back in the day, even the Mexicans, they wasn't as light as y'all think they were. They wasn't. That's why Mexico, a lot of these countries was people that was enslaved and they was dark. Like me, they was my complexion and darker. They wasn't a lot of these light-skinned motherfuckers that you see. No disrespect to the light-skinned black folks or some of the Mexicans that's lighter, but yo, they was my complexion and down and darker. It was because they was raping women and shit in the countries that they was enslaving the white Europeans. That's what they was doing all around the world. So that's why you see a lot of the cultures and shit, like brown countries and shit like that, black countries and shit. You see a lot of light-skinned country people from their country because a lot of enslavement happened. They was raping our women. Why you go, like you see Mexicans, you see them all. They all, a lot of them look light. But if you want the core of how Mexicans really look at the Afro, what they call them, Afro Latinos or whatever, Mexicans. That's how they look. You can look at me. I'm part Dominican. Listen, this is how they looked. They didn't look like the Mexicans how you see them. They didn't look like that. When you look at a Mexican now, you see Chinese in them, Filipino, all that shit. You see Chinese in them, they got white in them, and they got black people in them. That's what a Mexican is. All you gotta do is look at their features. A lot of them. You see some of the Mexicans with big noses like black Africans do, a lot of us. You see someone with chinky eyes, like kind of I got a little bit. And they light. That's all it is. That light part of them is white. Go back and look at how some of the Chinese people used to look back in the day. Listen, go to some of them Chinese countries, Japanese countries, Korean countries. A lot of them motherfuckers dark. You just see the like motherfuckers out there like that. That's why you see this shit. Don't get this shit twisted. Listen, in every culture or every race, black people is mixed with something. And white people. They just are. But mainly, it's black in them. That's why I told y'all, look at some of them Jews. Them noses. All you gotta do is look at them noses. You know they got black in them. The white European Jews, come on, man. You look at some of them. The Italians, all of them. Look at them. They got all the features of black Africans. Come on, man. I don't give a fuck how light their skin is. There's some type of percentage of black in them.
And he thought of us as subhuman? The entire time, Geraldo Rivera there, pretending to not know who Trump was? Like, I just see these people as snakes. He knows who Trump was and what he was going to do. He knew. It's only now, guys, that it's unpopular, that these idiots are like, oh, well, I can't believe he's doing this. Like, you're just an effing liar. And really, it's unpopular with independents. That's really where it is. Republican Party, they love this crap. They love this violence. They're bloodthirsty for this stuff. If Trump's numbers...
And that's why I never give former Trump supporters the benefit of the doubt when they start to see, because it's affecting you. And let me listen. It's actually, how can I put this? It's actually normal that people don't get affected by shit unless it happens to them. That's normal. That's just real reality. But that's why I always tell people, it's not to think that I'm better than people or some of us are better than people. It takes special people to understand that, hey man, that shit ain't right. Regardless. You know what I mean? That shit ain't right. But that's special people, right? In a good way, right? Doesn't mean we better. It's just we special in a way that that shit ain't okay. But it's a lot of people, even in the whole entire world. If shit do not affect people personally, they don't care because it's not happening to them. Like when I tell people, I say, as a black person, it's not that I don't care or what's happening with this shit that we seeing with the ICE, all this shit with the immigrants. It's not that. I'm fatigued with a lot of black folks. We tried to tell y'all this shit was gonna happen. We didn't need for this shit to only affect us. We know this shit affects everybody. So when we was going through our shit, which we still continue to do, we know this shit going to affect other people. So that's why we fight and we march or we stand on business with shit or we try to fix shit and fix laws and all this other type of shit, make awareness of shit. Be woke, right? We woke. Like, we're trying to help everybody. We know this can happen to you because it already happens to us. But if motherfuckers going to ignore us, come on, man. Let me tell you something. Black people, a lot of us are itching to be out there protesting. We itching to be in the front line. That's what we know. That's what we normally do. So it's like almost damn near a part of this shit of what's going on is damn near killing us because we want to be out there. We want to be fighting for shit. Sometimes we don't mind being on the front line because in the history of this country, we always been on the front line for us change. Always. We've been in every war in this country. We've been, whatever fucked up in this, we was always on the front line. Or we was side by side. So, excuse me. So for us not to be in the forefront or be out there side by side with y'all, it's killing us. But we understand the plight. We understand if we do get involved, we probably will make shit worse. Because they're waiting on us to do some shit. They're waiting for us to get out there. So the country can get even more fucked up. But that's how I told you. That's the intelligence of our people. We know what time we in. We get it. Everybody acting like, oh, like some people, some of the races, different races of people, minority groups, black people acting like they don't care and they coming at us and shit. Y'all just don't get it. I was getting way too involved in this shit. It will actually hurt all of us. So y'all got to take the bumps right now. This is being real. And it's selfish of a lot of these other minority groups to say, some of y'all to say this shit about us or to us. Because we always was on the front line, or we was always side by side with y'all. We still fucking rock with y'all. We don't want this shit to happen to y'all. Even if y'all on some fuck shit. Some of y'all on some fuck shit. But anyway, let's move on.
Those never moved as far as immigration goes, they will all still be boot gagging. They have no morals, no principles.
On to that, I mean, what do you make
so
of
surprised.
Geraldo's assessment of all of this?
Well,
He's an idiot.
Good assessment. I thought that report was very good reporting. A lot of it is enraging, and any American concerned with good government should be furious that an executive agency,
I'm sure you're
the
enraged.
deputies of which are lying to federal judges on the record, that's established, are creating chaos through the ranks by not disseminating information. There was, however, elements of that report with which I took issue, hyperbole.
But see, and that's the thing. If that is happening, I don't give a fuck how much good part of that is. Right? Because I always say this about a race of people. This is why I won't include everybody of being racist or bigoted. Everybody, a whole group of people. Right? Because it's insulting. Right? And it's ignorant. Right? And it's not true. But in certain things, if it's almost like being in the streets, right? Just because, all right, it's almost like a RICO charge, right? Just because I wasn't doing the shit that these niggas was doing, right? It doesn't matter because I'm still complicit. I still was hanging around the motherfuckers. It'd be stupid to say that you ain't know none of this shit was happening. Maybe you ain't know all, but you knew a lot of the fuck shit was happening. It was like when Gunna came out. Everyone's like, oh, well, he not a street nigga. What the fuck do that matter? I know plenty of street niggas. I mean, niggas that wasn't street niggas, grew up around street shit, but knew exactly what was going on. Even before I got in the streets, excuse me, I knew people that was involved in the shit. Right? I knew who did what. So then I get a part of this shit. It's one thing if you know about it, right? You know who did what. Now, the federal government can't say you was complicit in some shit just because you knew it, right? Or the police. But when you start getting involved with these niggas and you hanging with these niggas, regardless if you're doing anything on that level or not, you hanging with them. So you saying to federal government, you're okay with it and you know of it. That's the difference. If I start hanging around with shit that I know what these niggas are doing, now I may not be involved in all the shit that they do, but you know parts of it, a lot of it, at least half of it, and you still hang around them, you are complicit. It's like if I know some street niggas right now, and I know they do these things, and I go to hang with them, and some fuck shit happen, and I get caught up in it, right? I'm complicit. I'm totally complicit. I know what was going on because I know them, and I still took my ass to go hang with them. I'm complicit. It's the same thing with law enforcement. I don't care what nobody say. You can't listen. In some entities in the world, or just say our country, and law enforcement is one of these things. You can have about a good 40% of good cops. But if the rest of the 60% of them are bad, you can't really fix that. That 40% got to protest. They got to say, nah, these motherfuckers are bad. But if half of that 40%, it ain't gonna even be half. It probably would be about 25%, no, 20%, 15 to 20% out of that 40 that's good cops or good law enforcement. 15 to 20% of them protesting, saying whatever. That ain't enough, because you still got another 20% or 25% that's, even though they ain't bad, they complicit because they ain't speaking out. They scared. So they complicit. So it don't help the motherfucking 15 to 20% that's fighting back against it. That shit goes on deaf ears. They protest or they fight back means nothing. When you still got a whole 60% of fucking law enforcement bad, and then the other 20 to 15%, or 25%, that ain't even gonna say nothing. They're not even gonna stand with the motherfuckers that's actually really ready to ride and stand on shit. So they just complicit. They're no better. So when they talk about, it's some bad apples, it's not bad, a couple of bad apples. It's the system. It's the whole entire system. It's even the 25% or the 20% that may not do what the fucked up people do, but they know of it and they don't say nothing. They're no better than the motherfuckers that actually doing the fuck shit. And that's law enforcement. And there's a lot of entities in this country. And like I said, if you don't understand what I'm saying, and I don't comprehend you, then listen, you are part of the problem. You are part of the problem. Listen, it's no such thing of a, you know how bad law enforcement is at this point? I just say for me and a lot, especially in the black community, it's no such thing of good law enforcement to us at this point. Just like it ain't no such thing of good drug dealers or good criminals. It's no such thing. Because being a criminal, you're hurting somebody. And being a criminal is harmful. I don't give a fuck if you hurt one or two people. It's harmful. Nobody's saying people can't make mistakes, but no. At a point, some shit is not a mistake. You have to know that with your behavior and being a part of something, and there's no change and you're not fighting for it, it's harming people. I'm gonna break it down to you in this way. Another part. If I didn't get out the dope game or the criminal lifestyle because, how I think now of like, selling that poison to my people or being part of that criminal minds, that criminal shit and having that criminal mind state was harming people. Right? I got out of this shit because, part of me I never was comfortable in the dope game. I never was comfortable doing it. I actually lied to myself saying I would never be a part of it. And it was a hypocrite and got part of it. The reason I said I would never get part of it because my mom was on that shit. And so I would never get never get involved in it. But I wound up dead. So I was a hypocrite and a liar. And I didn't get, even when I got out of the game, I didn't get out the game because I thought that shit brought harm to people or I felt like I was a hypocrite or I lied. No, I got out the shit because there was consequences to that shit. For me personally, I didn't get out the game because of how I think now. I got out of the game because personally this shit was affecting me. That's why I said it's human nature a lot of the times that people see something wrong or they do the opposite of shit or don't get involved in shit or speak truth to power a lot of times is because something personally happened to them. It affected them. So when I say the shit I say, I did it before, so I know. Now, as years went on, you start to educate yourself, you start to know better, and your mind state changes, and you start to realize, nigga, I didn't get out the game for the reason that I'm saying now, but I definitely won't fuck with niggas that's so dope. I definitely won't fuck with criminals. I don't want to hang around you motherfuckers. So, but that wasn't a reason. At least I'm honest about it. So when people be pretending that they care about shit, they don't. It's not happening to them, so they don't care. People can commit all types of fucked up crimes and despicable shit to others, and if it doesn't affect you, you would then have blinders on to what's happening. And that's how I see a lot of people in this country.
Heard about the notion that this being an occupying force, the gentleman's commendable service to the country notwithstanding, that is hyperbolic, diminishes the nature of occupational forces. And the second,
Well, I think that's
He said it's hyperbolical that a motherfucker that served the country, been a federal agent and federal prosecutor, it's hyperbolic that he's saying this is a military type of thing that he's seen. How is that? Did you go to war? Did you been to war? Did you serve in the military? Have you been a law enforcement agent? That's why I be kind of trying to tell people, do you understand the difference of, because you can be educated and shit and neither and have to do none of that shit, but still experience do matter. It still have to be some type of occupation or some type of shit you have to go through. You can be educated in whatever the fuck. But if you never been a part of, it's like I never get mad at people that serve. Right? I say what I feel about it. I may be factually 100% about, well, I'll say 95%. Right? It's our percentage about how the military is, and it's a fact. All right? How shit is. But a military person that served, my brother served. I heard conversations my brother told me. I won't get too deep into it. That shit personal, right? Not even just between me and him, is because I respect his service, right? That he told me that he shouldn't have told me certain shit. So the level I still do have respect for people that served. I mean that. Because I ain't never served. Right? So you don't know the thought process of a lot of that shit. That's like a motherfucker, you take a motherfucker off the street just because they're a street nigga and just don't send a street nigga out there to go to war. Put them in the military. Don't give them no training, nothing. Just send them out there. They're going to get killed. Or them to comprehend because I went to war in the street. I know what serving in the military going to war is. It's not the same. It could be similar, but it's not the same. It's like a motherfucker that served in the military come home. The street level is different. They can't be street niggas out the gate. They're going to get killed. It's the same thing if you take a street nigga with no experience and send him, don't give him no training, nothing, let him go over to the military, he going to get killed on the first day. Because he don't have no experience. That's why I always tell people, respect other people's occupation. Just because you educated some shit don't mean nothing. Life experience matter as well. And that's the problem with this country. People keep acting like because they educated and shit, or they comprehend shit, does not mean that you know how to do somebody's other occupation. You really don't know. Honestly. And sometimes even doing certain occupations, just because a motherfucker got experience in it doesn't mean that they got morals. Because morals matter too. And how dedicated to shit that people understand what they dedicated themselves to as far as rules and morals. Everybody just because a motherfucker got experience in some shit doesn't mean they got morals. And you see it in all occupations. You know, you see people way more qualified. They mad qualified, but they don't have the morals. And so it seemed like they ignorant to shit. They break rules and shit. They break protocol. It happens a lot. But anyway, give me 1 second, y'all. All right, people, I'm back. But yeah, just because people got morals and shit and certain shit don't, I mean, people don't like people could be right, like they can have all the fucking experiences in the world, but that mean they got morals. And so that can fuck up if you don't have morals in certain shit and you really don't live the shit that you're supposed to live, you know, as far as the process of how shit supposed to run, it don't matter how much experience you got. Right? Like, I know it's certain shit that I wouldn't do regardless if I got experience and I know how to work around the system. Right? Or the occupation that I'm in, right? Or the system. It's just certain morally I wouldn't do. Right? But, you know, everybody ain't conscious of that. So that's part of the problem. But anyway, let's move on.
Like what we heard about the notion that this being an occupying force, the gentleman's commendable service to the country notwithstanding, that is hyperbolic, diminishes the nature of occupational forces. And the second,
Well, I think that's
Ask the people of Minneapolis how they felt about
That's
that.
the sheer numbers. I mean, I think it was
numbers about an
3,000.
occupation force
Well,
will make.
well, I
Nevertheless,
mean, it was like 3,000 federal agents who flooded the streets
He was deployed twice.
of a relatively small
Designed as a show of
American
force.
city. I mean, that's a lot of people.
real quick, the biggest problem that I had with the reporting was an anonymous quote, I believe it was anonymous, that identified the Bongino's motives, at least speculated about his motives, that he wanted to start.
Bovino.
Bovino, thank you. That absolves.
Come on with the commercials, man.
That absolves the individuals who engaged in the kind of harassment techniques that we heard in the background in that clip. You know, people don't even remember the degree to which there was coordinated campaigns designed to mobilize people to get out in the streets, get in the faces
Hold
of
on,
law.
and let me say this. So you believe certain shit that people like, this is what I don't like about anonymous sources, right? People pick and choose of anonymous sources that they want to believe in, right? Like, I would know certain shit from anonymous sources about certain shit that I've talked to people about, but I don't pretend that that shit is gospel. Like, it ain't no like it's factual, right? Especially if ain't nobody want to put their name on some on shit, right? Like I always say this, my motto is always this: whatever I say, if you're not there, I say it to your face. If I can't do that, then I won't say it. If you're there, so if you're not there, it's easy. It's easy for somebody to be anonymous. It's like saying some shit about somebody that you know you ain't gonna say to their face. That's how I look at anonymous tips sometimes, or a lot of the times. Or people get anonymous, people come say anonymous shit, you know, these sources or whatever, right? They ain't got the balls or the galls to say it. And listen, a part of sometimes people get it and they be like, they don't want the backlash and some shit. Well, don't say it. Like, that's my thing. Don't say the shit. If you're not willing to be in the front of some shit, just keep that shit amongst somebody that you just saying, look, this between me and you. Don't say nothing. Right? Usually that's when people say, like, yo, this between me and you, don't say nothing. Right? Like, you know what I mean? That means you don't want to stir the pot. We all do that. So if I tell somebody certain shit, I'll be like, yo, it's between me and you, yo, don't say nothing. That means, regardless of how I feel, right? I ain't no punk motherfucker. I say shit to people. That means I ain't got the heart to do that at this point. I don't want to stir no trouble. I'm scared of what can happen. Not scared, but I don't want the backlash. Right? I actually de-escalate shit because I don't like how this shit is happening. So I'll be like, sometimes I'll be like, yo, that's on me. And knowing it ain't on me, But you do that. Even though you know you right, you be like, yo, all right, cool. But if you ain't gonna be, you won't stand on business, put anonymous sources out there, all this other shit, whistle blowing, all that. Listen. It's a catch-22 with that shit. Because is it really respected in that way if you ain't be able to put it out? You it's almost like you scared to put it out there because you're gonna get backlash. And you know that. That's like I said, it's like talking to somebody, having a conversation with a friend or somebody, and you be like, yo, don't say nothing, yo, it's between me and you. That's what an anonymous source is. You know who the motherfucker is, but you get what I mean? You don't want to put them out on blast. An anonymous source don't want you to put them out there because they ain't got the balls to a certain extent to say the shit themselves and stand on business. That's why a lot of times one of my models is, if I can't say this shit to your face, I just don't speak about it. But everybody got a motherfucker they fuck with and talk to that where they give their feelings about shit and it shouldn't be mentioned. Right? Like don't speak about it. I'm just telling you some real shit. It's not, sometimes it ain't scared to say that shit. I just know sometimes when I say, a lot of times I say that, I just don't want to hurt people. Right? But I'm not saying not to tell this person because I'm scared of them. Well, I don't want the backlash of it. It's just, I don't want to hurt that person. So, but a lot of these anonymous story sources, and these people be coming out and they don't want their names mentioned and shit like that. That's because they scared. So my point is, why say it? But my problem is with either side is the right or wrong of it. Why even speak on the source if you're not going to put them out there? Like some shit I won't speak about. And I told you, the reason I don't speak about a lot of shit because I could be close to a situation. I know people close, and I don't speak about it because they done told me this shit. And I'm like, and then they say to me, don't say nothing. Like, you can quote me what I'm saying, but don't say my name. If a motherfucker do that, I kind of sometimes don't want to do it. Honestly. I don't even speak about it. I won't even speak about it. And I understand getting access to shit about certain shit. But yeah, sometimes I'll just be like, nah, I ain't even gonna talk about that shit. But anyway, let's move
on. That absolves the individuals who engaged in the kind of harassment techniques that we heard in the background in that clip. You know, people don't even remember the degree to which there was coordinated campaigns designed to mobilize people to get out in the streets, get in the faces of law enforcement, scream in their faces, blow whistles in their faces, distract them, disorient them. These are armed.
So nobody was hiding that. Nobody was hiding that. So what? But anyway, I'm sorry. Let's move on.
Follow them with cars.
So your tone is exactly the tone I remember from parents in 1969.
So kill them, right? Just kill them. They're blowing whistles in our face. Just kill them.
Listen, first of all, that is what a protest does. Right? They're acting like just protesting all the shit he's talking about is bringing harm to law enforcement. Listen, black people has been doing this shit for generations. And the tone that he's setting, or how he's saying it, and the tone he's setting, is that it was people telling people to strategize to do this. Well, what the fuck did you think the civil rights era was about? Like, this is what's bothering me about these. They're trying to pretend they're not racist. You're saying racist shit. It was out there with law enforcement. It was just because they're law enforcement doesn't mean they're right. Or whatever the federal government is saying, or why it's the federal, they law. They doing the right thing. That's not true. Like, what the fuck is, no mind. Let's move on.
If they were telling you not to get in the face of an armed police officer, they were right.
But the occupying forces, you call it hyperbole, but
They're armed. The police is armed. They armed. Let me tell y'all something on some real shit. This is why our ancestors back in the day, and I'm talking about our black folks. This is why they were like, especially the Black Panther movement in the Nation of Islam at the time. Do y'all know that a lot of shootouts ain't happened when black people was armed? Ain't no killings happen. When black people showed up with guns, Black Panthers, all that, ain't no violence happen. Them cops ain't want to shoot. Listen, nigga, if you got, I just put it this way, you got 100 black people showing up and everybody got a gun, I don't give a fuck how many law enforcement officers you got. Nigga, it's different. Excuse me. They're not attacking black people. They're not attacking black people. Like I said, that's why it always bothered me in the South. Y'all, a lot of black people in the South are registered with guns. Y'all get y'all shit registered legally. And y'all got the right to bear arms and walk around open carry states and shit like that. I don't understand why there ain't a lot of black people. It's just 100 of y'all with 100 of guns. Nigga, you think, I don't give a fuck, they got the military out there. Or them police officer or the federal government. They're not throwing no tear gas at y'all. If it's 100 of y'all on the front line with guns, they're not doing that. Then you get your brains blown out. Them cops know better. Just like their guns shoot, you shoot. If a cop point a gun at you for no apparent reason, you got your gun up, nigga, everybody put their guns down and had their gun shoot pointed. I'm telling y'all, that's why they seen our ancestors as dangerous as they was. Because they understood that. There's gonna be casualties out there and law enforcement gonna die. People gonna die. You got 100 black people out there with guns. And law enforcement, you got guns too. It don't matter. Them law enforcement is not pulling their guns out. They're not pointing them bitches, not throwing no tear gas, none of that shit. With 100 of black people on the front line with guns. You can have that first 100 of people with guns and everybody else in the back with no guns. They don't know who got guns back there or not. They're not throwing tear gas and all that shit they do. Scott, listen, like I told you, all you young motherfuckers that talk about how gangster y'all are, y'all not gangster than our ancestors. All you so-called gangbangers and thug niggas, Some of you young niggas, you think YNs, you think you ain't gangster. Y'all ain't built like that. Because first of all, if everybody show up with guns, law enforcement don't know who got guns there legally or not. They don't know. They're going to start trying to grab niggas and shit with guns? No. You got 100 black people walking towards wherever, it says an ICE shit or wherever they're going to protest. Or they just walking down. They are not going to fuck with those black folks like you think. All that shit they doing, they know that a lot of y'all are pussy. And that's why they do what they do. But let 100, let's say 100 Mexican motherfuckers or 100 white people move around with AR-15s. ICE ain't doing shit. Y'all just scared. This generation of people, and they're not just old people, I mean young people, it's some of you old motherfuckers, y'all ain't built like that. Or you ain't built like that no more. Or you ain't never was like that anyway. This ICE shit, this shit could have been stopped. Been stopped. Fuck out of here, bro. Like I told y'all, even when you see when black people get on that front line like that, the shit don't go as far. We wind up winning a lot of that shit is because they don't know what we got. They don't know. That's why all marches be like that. Y'all had all these marches and shit, and it don't mean nothing. But they know that y'all ain't gonna do shit. And they know black people ain't involved like we supposed to. They know that. That's why they do the shit that they do. You can't control 500. First of all, you can't control, ain't no local shit can control 100 people with guns. You can't control that. Marching down the street, you're not fucking with them. Because even one of them law enforcement get out of line and they get to pointing guns. Come on, man. Shit will go left real quick. Listen, that's why I respect my elders, I respect my ancestors. Nigga, we ain't built like them, bro. A lot of us ain't built like them. That's why my respect level is high to a lot of our elders. Because, nigga, we listen, a lot of us ain't like that, bro. Like, I'd be out that bitch all the time if I knew a lot of my people was like what I'm talking about. I'd be on the front lines. But I know a lot of you niggas ain't. So, that's why I'd be like, man, fuck that shit, man. I do that shit in another whole way of trying to make change. Because you niggas ain't really, really ready to go to war. You ain't really ready to die. Right? You get what I mean? I come from an era where nigga just stepping out my door, I can get killed from niggas that look like me. I can get killed from the police. I can get killed from anybody. So I grew up around that. It ain't necessary that a motherfucking nigga that look like you can kill you. Nigga, the police can kill you. You know this white motherfucker ain't even from your neighborhood, but he come down here to get his socks off to harass and fuck around with black people. So, it is what it is.
scream in their faces, blow whistles in their faces, distract them, disorient them. These are armed agents. Follow them with cars.
But your tone
Take the
is
car.
exactly the tone I remember from parents in 1969.
So kill them, right? Just kill them. They're blowing whistles in our face. Just kill them.
Hold on.
1970.
And remember, he said these people are following around ICE agents with their cars. Well, what is the fucking difference if these motherfuckers are following people with in regular vehicles, and a lot of the citizens don't know who the fuck these people are? What's the difference? If you're following me and you don't have no type of blue lights, nothing, right? Like if you're in a regular vehicle and you're following me around, nigga, I'm thinking you're a threat. I don't know if you the police or not. Especially as a black person, nigga, you could be a white supremacist for all the fuck I know. As a black person, as a black man in this country, we got enemies on everywhere, even amongst our own. So no, nigga, I don't know who the fuck these motherfuckers. I don't know who you are. You riding around in a regular vehicle with no lights, no shit to say you law enforcement, and you following me? The fuck out of here, bro. They smoking crack cocaine. Let's move on. Like I said, all this shit reminds me is when I was in the street. Because these they massing themselves up. They like knockers. We call them knockers. We call them, like, police officers used to be in regular vehicles trying to get drug dealers. You didn't know they was knockers until they pulled up, which was law enforcement. You didn't know. You did not know. I done seen cops get killed for doing that shit. Knockers. We call them knockers, but they was law enforcement in regular cars, following a nigga in a vehicle, or just they in a vehicle and they following a dude. And he don't know who the fuck they are. And they turn around and start busting and kill some cops. I literally seen this shit happen on my block. Literally. Only reason a nigga got caught, honestly, when that shit happened, only reason he got caught, because nobody in the hood snitched on him. You know how he got caught? Because the nigga had his fingerprints was on the shells of the bullets that killed the cops. That's the only reason he got caught. Because nobody in the hood was gonna say shit. And he was well known. So yeah, like, come on, man. That's why, like, it's not good that police officers are moving around in those regular vehicles like the ICE agents. It's not good. And they masked up. Like, yo, you don't know who these people are, bro. And now we know that white supremacists, racists, will put masks on to pull people over, and they can get the uniforms and the vests and shit. Usually, back in the day, getting a vest was illegal. To have a vest, give a fuck where you were from in the country. You couldn't have no vest. That shit was illegal. You go to jail for having a vest. They made it legal for people to have vests on. The fuck out of here, bro. And I'm talking about regular citizen people. The fuck out of here. This is an American problem.
If they were telling you not to get in the face of an armed police officer, they were right.
But the occupying forces, you call it hyperbole, but it's almost traditional in this kind of.
And that doesn't give you the right to shoot them and murder American citizens
Exactly.
and protesting. That's part of the
But
problem.
Lois,
There's
I
no moral
think what you're
equivalence here.
referring to
Thank you,
is
Sarah.
a call that Bovino had with
Right. And that's where he was getting at. He was saying just because they're harassing these ICE agents, that give them the right to kill people. The fuck out of here, bro. Listen, let me tell you how fucked up this was, right? On so many levels. With Petty, God rest his soul. He had a gun on him when they was beating him. He had a gun. He never reached for the motherfucker. Actually, when they took the gun away, they shot him in the head. They took the gun away. And they still shot him. I don't know if the back or the back of his head. They shot him. It was in the back. I put it that way. Because he was on the ground and they was beating him. He never reached for the gun. That's how fucked up that is. Because at that point, for me, if I'm getting jumped by, I don't give a fuck this law enforcement. I got a gun on me and you just start beating me like that, I'm trying to reach for my gun and shoot you. You're going to have to kill me for a reason. You're going to have to beat me for a reason. Like, honestly. And they rushed that dude. And then they killed him because somebody, one of the law enforcement people say, oh, he got a gun. And then somehow somebody shot him in the back. He never reached for it. They beat him for a little minute. Right? Or half a minute. They fucked him up. He never reached for the gun. And then all of a sudden he got a gun. And they shot him. Listen, like I said, they was always in the wrong of beating them up. But if I'm a law enforcement, somebody say he got a gun and we beating somebody up, I'm backing the fuck up and I'm grabbing my gun. As a law enforcement. And I'm pointing that bitch, put the gun down. Like, you just don't shoot people like that, bro. They murdered that man on you want to say live TV because it's everywhere. Internet, whatever. Like, yo, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like I said, nigga, listen. If you beat me down like that, fuck out of here with that. I don't give a fuck you the police. I don't give a fuck who you are. You beat me down like that and I got that iron on me. I'm trying to grab my iron and I'm going to up that bitch on you. I ain't got, listen. Nah, bro. Especially, we just seen what happened to Petty. Nah, nigga, I'm upping my shit. You going to kill me for a reason. But like I said, that man wasn't out there to up his gun on nobody, because if he was trying to do that, he would have upped that bitch on him right away. Matter of fact, he would have shown that bitch to let you know he armed. He wasn't out there for that. Now people's like, well, why would he have it out there? Nigga, first of all, in the world we in, or it could just been a statement. You gonna kill a legal citizen with a gun? Like it was, he could have been out there for certain statements that he was trying to do, but he never upped this gun ever. They can't say that. They try to say, oh, he was a criminal, he was violent, because he kicked some ICE car and shit, but he never upped his gun. And he most likely was strapped at that point. Then they beat him up, right? They fucked him up a little bit, and then they walked away. So was it that big of a deal that he was kicking the law enforcement shit, broke their shit? It wasn't that big of a deal because they ain't arrest him. They just wanted to beat him up. They beat him up the way they did, and they walked away. And I guarantee he was armed then. Guarantee you. And this was before he got killed. Come on, bro. It's all bullshit, man. Let's move on.
In this kind of
And that doesn't give you the right to shoot them and murder American citizens
Exactly.
for protesting. That's part of the
But
problem.
Noah's,
There's no
I
moral
think what you're
equivalence here.
referring to
Thank you,
is
Sarah.
a call that Bovino had with prosecutors where he reportedly said, these people are wackos The shit is getting ready to come. We're not putting up with anything in the city. It's coming. We're not going to calm it down. We're going to put it down. Bovino,
Understand of his language that he's using. Imagine he's not a law enforcement, local law enforcement there. He's not a prosecutor. He's nothing there. He's a head of the border patrol, the dude they're talking about. You're coming into a state telling the citizens, listen, I don't give a fuck on the federal level of these type of people, right? You ain't from their state. These are American citizens. They pay your salary. And you're telling these people what they can't do of their local taxes they pay, and they pay your federal taxes. They pay on the federal level, which pays your paycheck. And you're telling them we can't have this. And all. Like, Nick, what the fuck are you talking about, man? And that's why I said, like, I told y'all, like, I don't look at law enforcement as some type of fucking, on any level. I do not look at these people as they some type of patriots. You get paid to protect and serve. You're no patriot if you're getting paid. You're no patriot. You can't be a patriot. I'm sorry. You can't. That's your job. People pay you to do this job. Regardless if it's on the local level or the federal level, you get paid. The military is a little different. I always tell y'all that. It's a little different. But, yeah, man. And I'm going to tell you something. Even the military people, they go to serve for this country, they come home, and they get fucked over by our own government. They don't pay these people. Listen, whatever help that our military people need and want, they should get. They should get. They should get free health care, nigga, counseling, whatever it may be. Like, yo, these are real patriots. These motherfuckers that really serve and protect the country. You motherfuckers, you local police agencies and all that, no disrespect to all of y'all, or y'all, all of y'all period. But you're not them. You're not those motherfuckers. You're not the soldiers that literally protect and serve the country. Put their bodies on the line, all that shit. Put their life on the line. You're not doing that. People say, oh, well, the local police and they put their life on the dance. Nigga, listen. You sign up to that. Right? And people are like, well, you sign up for the military. Listen, it is a difference. I'm telling y'all, it's a difference. Even now, it is a difference. When people sign up for the fucking military, bro, yo, they don't have no say. They gotta, damn it, basically, it could be some, whatever their, how can I put this? Whatever their instructions to do what they supposed to do, they shit they supposed to do, right? They had no say in that, bro. They just gotta go and do that. They gotta go and do it. Because they're programmed to do that. Number one, they've been programmed to go do that. This, our local law enforcement, federal agency people, nigga, they got the right to say, nah, I ain't doing that. And a lot of people would not call them traitors. If some shit they find out that's wrong, or why they say, no, I'm not doing that. Right? It's not the consequences as like a fucking military person. It's consequences if these niggas break rank or they say, nah, I'm not doing that. It's consequences. Not you local American federal agents and police officers. No, ain't no consequences happening like that. The fuck out of here. You might be a fucking hero in that shit, but not no motherfucking military person, nigga. They got to buy some shit. It's different. So, yeah, fuck all that, man. People be talking that shit, nigga. Go listen, do your research on military people. It's one thing of having people that served and shit like that. It's one thing of comprehending and actually are intelligent. I'm not intelligent, but do your research, or they're different from our local law enforcement or federal government law enforcement. It's different. The military is different, bro. That's why I said they're the fucking patriots. They're the heroes. These local law enforcement motherfuckers, I don't give a fuck what entity they in this country. They can be the CIA. It don't matter. A lot of the CIA motherfuckers do criminal shit. Fuck you talking about. DA, FBI, they all do criminal shit. They break laws and policies. Come on, man. They create laws so these people can break laws. I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
These people are wackos. The shit is getting ready to come. We're not putting up with anything in the city. It's coming. We're not going to calm it down. We're going to put it down. Bovino responded to that by essentially saying that he doesn't remember exactly what he said, but that the idea of putting down protests was not something that he would say. But this is what the reporting is, and I mean, even if whether he said it or not.
Hold on, people. Give me 1 second. My bad. All right, people, I'm back. Hold on. Let's go back a little bit.
It's coming. We're not going to calm it down.
The right to shoot them and murder American citizens
Exactly.
and protesting, that's part of the
But
problem.
Nova's,
There's no
I
more
think what you're
liquids here.
referring to
Thank you,
is
Sarah.
a call that Bovino had with prosecutors where he reportedly said, these people are wackos. The shit is getting ready to come. We're not putting up with anything in the city. It's coming. We're not going to calm it down. We're going to put it down. Bovino responded to that by essentially saying that he doesn't remember exactly what he said, but that the idea of putting down protests was not something that he would say. But this
Bullshit. Because you can't say that. Listen, first of all, you can't say on one hand, I don't remember saying that, and then says, what the shit he say? He say, I don't remember saying that. And then say, oh, it ain't nothing like I would say. That means he's trying to cover his ass. So basically he's saying, listen, I don't remember saying no shit like that. Right? Denying that. Most likely I don't remember saying no shit like that. Then on the other hand, he's saying, listen, in the same breath, I just don't remember this. So, you know, hold on. Let me go back because I don't want to misquote. Hold on.
saying that he doesn't remember exactly what he said, but that the idea of putting down protests was not something that he would say.
He said, I don't remember saying anything like that. They ain't nothing, almost saying like it ain't nothing I would say. But then on the other hand, say, oh, well, I don't remember saying no shit like that. I don't think I would say nothing like that. Listen, he's lying. That's how you know he lying. Listen, it's almost like if I got fucked up one night and I say, hey, you know what? I don't remember saying no shit like that. There ain't no shit that I would say because you think you know yourself, right? And that's okay, right? But motherfucker saying, yo, that's what you said. Right? And you start to notice, ain't nobody got no proof about what you said. Right? Nobody got no proof. So you start to say, like, that's why you can come out and say, nah, there ain't no shit that I would say. I wouldn't say no shit like that. But if I did, and you're trying to cover your ass because you don't know if it's proof of even saying that you said it. Excuse me. When you know motherfuckers, if you're a known liar, that's what you would say. I don't think I would say no shit like that. It's almost saying I don't think I would say no shit like that. But if I did, you know, you try to start making excuses for it. That's kind of what he's doing. But anyway, let's move on.
What the reporting is, and I mean, even if whether he said it or not, the actions kind of illustrate that there was no attempt to turn the dial down on this stuff for a long time in Minnesota.
I mean, absolutely. And the thing is that.
And hey, to My Little Pony.
And I want to say this too. He moved around. I remember when the shit was happening. When they was all proud and there wasn't no big backlash like that on all levels. You know, it was all Trump and it was nothing nobody can do. Midterms wasn't coming up. A lot of people, you know, they didn't see the polls or whatever. I look at it that type of shit because that's what they be on. Right? He's seen no consequences of how he moved around. This motherfucker moved around like he was the baby Hitler. Had the haircut like it in the way. He just moved around like he moved around like he was Hitler general or some shit. Like, that's what he was on. One of Hitler generals or something, or general. That's how he moved around. He dressed the part. He looked the part. He was just acting like, nigga, what the fuck y'all talking about? You know what I mean? And he moved around arrogant. And I'm like, yo, this dude is really tripping. And if I'm Democrats, if I get in office, he automatically is getting demoted or he's getting fired if I get back power. He can never be in control of nobody. I give him an ultimatum like, listen, you gonna take this retirement plan? Or I'm going to demote you so much that it gonna feel like you need to take that retirement plan. One or the other. And listen, dude, this dude walked around like he was on some Nazi shit. Anyway, let's move on.
Ever serve? Twice deployed to be able to sit there and say ICE doesn't resemble occupational forces? Like, think about it. Should I listen to you who giggles and flutters his eyes on some of the most abhorrent topics and segments, or the guy who was deployed twice when it comes to determining what looks militaristic? What say you, My Little Pony? Like, it's why I always say Republicans, guys, fundamentally to who they are, is a very easily frightened person. Just scare them by showing them a picture, showing them a black or brown person committing a crime, and you have these idiots in the palm of your hand. Yell Lincoln Riley, and you got these fools.
A world where summer hunger
Come on, man, with the
strikes.
commercial, man.
Chickalooza answers the call. Get any two
And yell Lincoln Riley, and you got these fools. Masked men shooting a mother in the face, calling her a bitch, and the threatening of citizens. No, none of that is worrisome. The whistle.
Listen, let me just say this. You got hood niggas that know better than this. Listen, bro. You can't just roll up because a woman in the hood called, say certain shit, nigga. It's like, yo, as a man, you know that shit ain't okay to do. You like you know what I mean? Like, so for these, she was a threat. She tried to hit me with her car. Nigga, you got out the way. Ain't no, listen, first of all, you pointing a gun at a woman in a car. That shit is crazy to me. You get what I mean? Like, it's almost like with a woman. Regardless, even if she wasn't in a woman talking girl gangster out of her mouth. As a man, man, fuck out of here. Lady, go about your goddamn business. Unless that woman up a gun up on you, that's different. As a man, not to up no motherfucking gun on no woman. I don't give a fuck if you law enforcement or not. If you that scary to be out there, then you shouldn't be out there. It's almost like when I tell motherfuckers, I say this shit, real shit. I ain't scared. Listen, I ain't scared of going in the hood. I ain't scared of people like that. Problem is, I tell you a story. Just happened to me yesterday. I'm in the hood. You hear stories, motherfuckers in the hood talk about, they get robbed and they got robbed and shit like that. I get that. And not trying to demean, downplay what they've been through and certain shit. But I'm in the middle of the hood. My truck break down. And you hear all the time how, especially in Baltimore, how motherfuckers get robbed. Amazon driver. You hear it all the time. Right? It ain't like I ain't never heard of the shit. Whatever. And my truck break down. I'm in the middle of the hood. I told you I work amongst my people. I ain't scared of my people. I work in that motherfucker. I go to the grimiest neighborhoods. I don't give a fuck, and I be in them. I ain't scared. Right? And motherfucker, my truck break down. Nigga, I start packing my shit up. Right? Because they say, we gonna bring the truck into a whole nother hour. In an hour, some crazy shit can happen. Right? But this how much, I'm gonna put y'all on game. All right, I'll break down or whatever, right? And some shit can happen in an hour. I call them, tell them, your truck broke down, yo, I need you to send me another truck, blah, blah, blah. Get in touch. They tell me, yo, we ain't gonna be there to another hour. I'm at the end of my fucking route. I probably got 40 fucking stops. Some shit. Right? No, I know I had 40 stops. 40 stops. So, all right, I'm packing my shit up. Packing all the shit up I got. I open the back door up. I set out that bitch with the back door open. Got my shit in the back, sitting there chilling. Motherfucker lady, sister in the hood. She walking up, I think she maybe got her kids or grandkids or whatever she got. And she walking up the street. Mind you, it's main motherfuckers, street niggas, all types of motherfuckers. Skeptical niggas if you thought they were skeptical. But they all walking the street. Motherfuckers ain't say nothing, look at you, blah, blah, blah. Sister walk up. Sister say, hey, baby, you good? I say, yeah, I'm good. I say, truck broke down, blah, blah. She said, you need some water or something like that. I think she misunderstood what I said. Or maybe I didn't hear her fully. I said, yeah. I thought she said, like, I thought she said, do you need some water or not? And I might have said some shit. And I'll say, yeah, but she took it as I needed water, right? Because I didn't say, because I don't need no motherfucking water. I always stock up. I'm always good, right? I prepare for how long I'm going to be out, right? But she might have took it and I might have said it wrong or I might have heard her wrong, whatever. And she said, okay. And I remember her say, all right, let me go to my mom's house or something like that. And she walked up the street or whatever. She didn't come back for about a good 10 minutes, right? I don't know how far she walked because I didn't look. This woman literally came back about 10 minutes later and brought me one bottle of fucking water. Literally. In the hood. I'm in the middle of the fucking hood. Literally did that. My point is this. Listen, man. You can't be scared of your people. Yeah, it's fuck shit. I mean, you know it's fuck shit. I mean, niggas looked at me, nigga, you know, but niggas could be plotting, right? But I know how to handle myself. I'm a OG, right? That's why I get niggas game. My point is, I'm sitting there, whole time, back door open. I ain't scared of shit. Motherfuckers walking past me, whole time. And you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. Yeah, truck broke down, blah, blah, blah. Some motherfuckers ain't say nothing. Some still say something. But you never scared. Right? Like, I ain't say you never scared, but I don't worry about shit that people worry about. I ain't scared of my people. Regardless if I think they on some shit or not. Right? But I know how to move too. So that's part of it. That's why I ain't scared of shit. But part of my point is, I did all that shit. All that shit happened. Nothing that happened to me in the hood. I'm in the middle of the hood. If a nigga came up that thing on me and was like, yo, give me all that shit. All right, bro. Take all of it. I'm getting the fuck out the way. Like, I'm not dying for this shit. It ain't nothing in this truck I'm dying for. Even if it's my personal shit. Take all that shit. Motherfuckers want to be heroes about some shit you can get back or whatever. Of course you don't. Because I come on the street. You don't like a nigga up in some shit taking something from you. That's different if you're a street motherfucker. But if you ain't a street nigga and you can get that shit back, or a street person, you can get that shit back. You don't give a fuck about anybody take something from you, bro. Now, you may not have ever did it in that position, but you don't. But you know motherfuckers would do it. So you know how shit goes. I'm not fighting no nigga. I'm not trying to kill no nigga over some shit I can get back. It ain't nothing that nigga can take from me that I can't get back. Nothing. Not materialistic. It's nothing. Not fighting no nigga over no shit. Trying to up some shit on a nigga. For what? Or nigga up some shit on. I'm not fighting back for what? Take that shit. I get it back. Motherfuckers be sitting there and they be pretending or some of their life, they be sitting there acting like you supposed to care about some shit. You don't supposed to care about shit that you don't supposed to care about. Nobody dies for dumb shit. That's if you come from the streets and you out the streets, fuck, nigga, take that shit. It's gonna hurt in the moment, of course. Personally, physically, sometimes, emotionally, it's gonna hurt. Let that shit go, nigga. I'd rather have my life. You take that shit, take all of it. Now, if I'm on the street level shit, yeah, it's different. But, nigga, I ain't in the streets. Take all that shit. Not fighting no nigga over no shit. If we talk about, oh, man, it might feel like you feel like a punk. Okay, yeah, all right. I've been shot before. Came close to death twice. It ain't worth it. Let a nigga take that shit. Ain't no way I'm upping some shit on the nigga. Even if I got it to a certain extent. If I got my shit, nigga, take that shit. I'm not trying to go to jail. I'm not trying to go through none of that bullshit. Take that shit, man. But that shit don't mean nothing. It's materialistic shit. I'm not dying with none of that shit. Take it all. You're supposed to get out of that shit. You don't supposed to be sitting there trying to die for some materialistic bullshit. People crazy, man. Some people crazy. Like, they want to die for some shit. Nobody likes to get like shit, taken from them. Nobody. But I almost came close to death twice. Oh, fuck that. I've been robbed before, once. It haven't happened to me since I was young. Because I know, nigga, take that shit. I don't fuck about that shit. I'm not dying for no materialistic shit. And like I said, I'm more mature and educated. Nigga, I've been around the block more than once. I don't give a fuck if it's my shit or not. Take that shit. That shit mean more to you to try to up on me, steal from me. It mean more to you than me. I'm not sacrificing my life. Nigga, I get that shit back. It's a setback. I get it. It's a setback. Oh well. Gonna take you a minute to get it back. So what? Your life is gone. You ain't got no. It's not even a setback. You can't even get that shit back because you dead. You gone over some materialistic bullshit. But anyway, let's move on.
Ask men shooting a mother in the face, calling her a bitch, and the threatening of citizens. No, none of that is worrisome. The whistles.
This is not an aberration. It was not a mistake that they sent armed guards massed into the street, not trained. Not a mistake that they don't have the body cameras. Not a mistake that after the birthright citizenship.
And that was another thing too. I wanted to bring that up about the cameras, bro. Listen, this is the federal government. Shit, we know all the local polices that got funded almost a decade ago. Even longer than that where funding went to, a lot of the police funding went to getting body cameras. And you're telling me these ICE agents, federal agents, they needed money to get body cams. Bullshit. The fuck out of here, bro. That's why people talking about these. What's the excuse about? First of all, they already on camera doing fuck shit. And then you say, oh, it's the funding. They still need body cams. Listen, it ain't a part of their budget to get body cams. They ain't got enough money there for body cam. Fuck out of here. It's a lie, bro. So disrespectful. And like I said, this is why I feel offended, because they trying to play on our intelligence. Anyway, let's move on.
This is not an aberration. It was not a mistake that they sent armed guards massed into the street, not trained. Not a mistake that they don't have the body cameras. Not a mistake that after the birthright citizenship case was, upheld, the white supremacy base in Trump's party is getting even more emboldened and powerful. They don't want people with a certain color of skin or an accent to be in this country. And so all of this is effective. It does is it scares people. It scares people to self-deport. It scares people not to come. It scares people to not go to the grocery store. In the city of LA, there are people who have not gone to the grocery store. It is working exactly how they want it to work.
And I tell you, that's exactly what Republicans want to hear. That is exactly what they want to hear. They want to hear that immigration enforcement is racist because the country doesn't believe that.
This immigration enforcement.
And see, hold on. You see what he did? It's the wordplay. She never said that the country was racist. She said this administration is racist. And he took that as, oh, that's an opportunity for me to come in and saying, oh, the Republicans love this, to say all Republicans are racist. Listen, I'll make it very clear. So you ain't gotta try to use certain words to try to pretend that you don't know what I'm saying. Anybody that's MAGA is racist. If you are MAGA, you are racist. If you still support this administration, you are a racist. I don't give a fuck how they feel about that. I don't give a fuck they say, oh, this is what Republicans need. I don't care. That's what I would have told him. I don't care. But she had to justify it saying, listen, let's go back. Because I want y'all to understand what he just did.
Well, they want it to work.
And I tell you, that's exactly what Republicans want to hear. That is exactly what they want to hear. They want to hear that immigration enforcement is racist because the country doesn't believe that.
This
First of all, let me just say this. If the Republican Party want to hear Democrats, that motivates them, even today the voters, to motivate them to saying that's what Republic from a liberal or Democrat they want to hear to motivate them to go vote or whatever the fuck it is, right? If that's what motivates them to go vote because somebody's calling them racist, then that lets you know everything. I actually would be offended, right? I actually would be feel insulted. And then personally for me, if I'm with a party that you think all of us is racist and bigoted, right? It's like, all right, prime example, right? I'm gonna give you a prime example of this shit. It's like if a Republican can come out on the MAGA side and say, because I support the gay shit, I'm okay with DEI, I'm woke, and all that other shit. And let me put you on game with this. If I thought something was totally wrong of what I was standing for, right? Or I'm siding with people or siding with the side for that. And that made me, like, if they say that's why you anti-American, right? Or just say, you know, you hate white people, right? They like to say that, right? Something like that. Or I hate white men, right? Because that's what they say when you side with the right side. If I genuinely felt how they felt about it, I would be offended, right? I would literally feel offended, but I don't. You can call me a race baiter. You can call me gay. You can call me whatever the fuck you want, a socialist or whatever, or too woke, you DEI type motherfucker. You can call me all that shit you want. I'm not offended. I don't want you to call me that, but I'm definitely not going to be offended. The only reason I'm going to be upset about that is because I think whatever I'm standing for is wrong. They can call me everything out the moon. You can call me a bigot. You can call me a racist. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. Call me gay or whatever. I don't care. I know I'm on the right side. So I don't give a fuck about no fucking Republicans. People feeling, oh, yeah, this is the Republican need. We want that. You already that anyway without me saying it. I don't give a fuck. You a bunch of fucking racists and bigots. I don't care you feel that way or that motivates you to do what you do. I don't have to say that and that don't motivate. Listen, me saying that or how you saying it motivates them or they feel a certain type of way about. I don't have to say that. You already feel that way. So me saying it, does it really change a bigot or racist mind on how they feel? No. I'm glad that you saying that. I don't care. I wouldn't care at all. And I don't now. I don't care. You mega people are bigots and racists and homophobes. I don't give a fuck. If that motivates you to vote against or moral standards that I stand on or what I stand for, go ahead. You don't hurt my feelings. Listen, let me just say this to make it real clear. No racist, bigot, mega motherfuckers that go rock with Trump, you don't hurt my feelings. I feel nothing for you either way. I'm not embarrassed or feel ashamed of standing for what's right. And I know it's right. I don't give a fuck if you think I'm not being right. Or you however you feel. I don't care. It's like I know you don't care about or what you doing that's bigoted and racist and homophobic. So if you don't feel that way, why the fuck would I feel I care about what you're saying and how you feel? I give y'all the same energy that y'all push to the rest of us. The fuck out of here, bro. That's what motivate the Republicans. I don't care. And I swear, I was on that platform. She came off, she did what she could do on a political level. But for me, I'd have told her, I don't care. I don't care. Your party is a racist. You are a racist. I don't give a fuck what motivates y'all. I already know what motivates y'all. So why would I care?
Well, they want it to work.
I'm going to tell you that's exactly what Republicans want to hear. That is exactly what they want to hear. They want to hear that immigration enforcement is racist because the country doesn't believe that.
This immigration enforcement is racist.
Go ahead.
Hold on, time out. And he said some shit about immigration, calling immigration racist. The officers. Listen, I don't know what universe he lives in. If I can make up some shit about why drug dealers do what they do. Just because I comprehend it doesn't mean it's right. Right? Like, I can justify everything that a criminal do or niggas motherfuckers that sell dope, sell drugs or whatever. I can justify it. That doesn't make it right. If that shit is harming people, it doesn't make it right. And just because you on the right, the law backs it up, doesn't make it right. It's like slavery. In a way, right? Like, just because it was the law didn't make it right. And that's what how they coming off as. It's the law, it's the president. Trump said it, so it make it right. The fuck out of here. So slavery is right, huh? I'm sorry. Redlining was right. It was the law. Segregation was right too, huh? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just because you think something is right doesn't mean it's right. When I was selling dope and doing all the fuck shit I did, I could justify it. Still to this day I could. But do it make it right? No. So I don't give a fuck what he talking about. Anyway,
Well, they want it to work.
I'm gonna tell you, that's exactly what Republicans want to hear. That is exactly what they want to hear. They want to hear that immigration enforcement is racist because the country doesn't believe that.
This immigration enforcement is racist.
Go ahead.
Hold on. And he said, "This, and that's where he fucked up at." He said, "The immigration system is not racist." So you telling me everybody that's in immigration, that's an immigration officer, they ain't racist? That's what you're telling us? They all just bound by the law? Because that's not true. We know that they don't do that. The Supreme Court told them they don't have to. They can be bigoted and biased and racist. So he's just basically lying. Like I said, it's almost to debunk they shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? But anyway, let's move on. And shout out to this woman. She says, yeah, this administration is racist. Yes. Yes, it is. And she stood on business with it. She ain't sugarcoated. She said, this administration is. Yes. And so what she meant by that was saying anybody that's going along with this shit, regardless if it's your job or not, or what you signed up for, you know it's wrong, and you still going along with it, you racists and bigots. Shout out to this woman. I don't know if she Latino or not. But yeah. Or white. You don't know.
Well, they want it to work.
I'm gonna tell you, that's exactly what Republicans want to hear. That is exactly what they want to hear. They want to hear that immigration enforcement is racist because the country doesn't believe that.
This immigration enforcement is racist.
Go ahead.
If you were going to be at the border and enforce the border, but if you're thousands of miles in Minneapolis and shooting, murdering, we all saw in real time what happened, murdering with no accountability, it's because you were okay with that happening.
I am willing
Yeah.
to concede the
My,
point.
and he right. And she got him. If you go along, I told y'all this. If you go along with it, and you, even if you, all right, it's your occupation. You know this shit is wrong, and you go along with it on some racist, bigoted shit. You're a part of it. That's why I was bringing up the street scenario. You know this shit is wrong, and you still go along with it. Then yes, you're a part of the racist. You're a part of that criminal behavior. It's not complicated, but they want to do that. They want to make it complicated. Everybody ain't like that. Yeah, no, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. You bigoted and you racist. And for her to say that, yes, if you're a part of this, yes, you are complicit in it. You okay with it. It's no excuse for this shit. It's no excuse. No excuse. I can't stand behind some shit that I know this shit is harming people. That shit don't even make any sense. Fuck out of here. And I know that the Supreme Court told y'all can discriminate against people. So I'm supposed to be okay with this? No. Fuck out of here. Anyway, let's move on. Go back a little bit.
And shooting, murdering. We all saw in real time what happened, murdering with no accountability. It's because you were okay with that happening.
I am willing
Yeah.
to concede the point that Bavino's leadership.
He didn't deny it there. He had a chance to say, excuse me. He didn't deny it. And I said it's militaristic what they're doing. It's worse than that. It's cartel-like. It's Nazi-like.
Over this entire
Listen,
operation.
It's actually even like it's in that realm of that, but let's make it simple. It is no different than when you see immigrants they flock over here to America from whatever country they from. In their administration or their administration or the people, the leaders of their country and how the country is working, when you see a lot of these people run away from that. It's no different. So that's why when you hear these racist ass MAGA Republican people say the shit that they say, they keep trying to pretend that, oh, we just trying to protect our country. No, you're not. Because you're going after the vulnerable. So you're no different than the motherfuckers that you discredit in other countries. You're no different. They have the same mentality as Saudi Arabia, a lot of these dictator countries, even Russia. Then Trump and this administration, this mega shit, they're acting the same way. And they're trying to pretend they're not. You are that. Anybody rocking with this shit that's happening now, you are a part of the problem. Don't say you better. You're not no better than Russia or Korea, South Korea, or fucking some of these dictator countries, Saudi Arabia and all them. You're on the same level as them. You're on the same level. Even Israel, everybody like Israel. We're not talking about all the Israel people. We're talking about the government. The government ain't no different than the motherfuckers that they keep pretending that they're better than them. They're better than they're better than the terrorists. You ain't no better than them. You killing innocent people too. The fuck are you talking about? How's Israel better than the terrorists? You're murdering innocent people. Listen, America can't say shit. Y'all bomb innocent school children. Nobody talking about that shit no more. You notice that? We literally did that. We literally did that shit. We killed innocent children. And motherfuckers sitting there to act like we still got some type of principles that we can still speak about. They killed hundreds of children. Fuck out of here. Nigga, listen. As an American citizen, nigga, our country, or what happened to those kids, nigga, we don't have no principles, no rights to speak about nothing. Have nothing to say. Fuck out of here, yo. We killed innocent children, over hundreds of children. Children at school. They was at school and we murdered them. Assassinated them. Literally murdered them. Not literally, we did it. And niggas in America, you Trump MAGA people, I don't give a fuck who you are. And you sit here trying to justify, oh, we American. Oh, I'm not American, nigga, not with this. They literally murdered hundreds of children. But you know what didn't shock me though? A lot of you American motherfuckers wasn't upset about this, about them hundreds of children getting murdered. Them Pakistan, you know why it didn't shock me? Because every time a mass shooting happened with our American children, thoughts and prayers. Let's bring more guns. The teachers should have more guns. We still out this bitch. You know let me tell y'all something. You know the motherfuckers that make the most money in this country, the biggest business in America is guns. Technology might be over them, but they second. It's guns. And you just can't even blame that on just Republicans. It's Democratic motherfuckers here in this country that had no problem with what happened or what's going on or the leniency of guns and shit. Fuck out of here, bro. Like I said, yo, these people like I just don't understand people who want to sit there and try to pretend that they so much better than other people outside of this country, or even the people in this country that stand on business like me and be like, yo, you motherfuckers, and we call you racists and bigots, and you're part of killing people, and you act like, oh, we been soft and all this other goofy shit y'all say. Motherfucker, we literally killing people. Literally, and even in our own country, and you're okay with it. All y'all want to come out is with thoughts and prayers. Or you know what? Or what y'all say, it ain't happening to me. So why would I care too much about it? That's the behavior, and that's what a lot of y'all are saying. So get the fuck out of here, man. And motherfuckers acting like, oh, well, Kenny, you talking about you ain't no patriot. No, I'm not. And everybody that you think is a patriot ain't a patriot. Motherfuckers is lying. I don't have to love America just to put America first. To love, to be a patriot or love America. No, nigga, I care about all people. We just murdered hundreds of kids, and you motherfuckers want to still sit here as Americans. I don't give a fuck who you are. And try to sit here, oh, we the best country in the world. Fuck out of here, bro. And we ain't even talking about shit generations, how we kill innocent people. I'm just talking about at the moment. We know that America just killed over 100 and something kids. Children. And for American people to sit here and pretend that we the greatest country in the world, you stupid as fuck. You out your fucking mind. And I ain't had nothing to do with that. I'm against it. But I still feel a certain type of way about that. Children are dead. And you motherfuckers, oh, we the greatest country in the world. Bullshit. We far from that shit. These children are dead. Fuck out of here. I feel so disrespected by this country. Like this country, like, yo, this shit don't represent me. That's why I always tell people, I don't feel American, nigga. This ain't no shit. This shit ain't cool. We killing innocent people and then try to chalk it up to whatever fucking shit we do in this country. Yo, hundreds of children died for nothing. I don't even give a fuck if they got it wrong, bro. Because they try to chalk it up. Then you didn't get that shit wrong. I don't believe they got it wrong, nigga. They were trying to tear down a country. And we shouldn't even gotten this war. That's the crazy shit about it. Motherfuckers want to sit there and act like in America, we want to say act like we better than somebody. We ain't better than shit. Hundreds of kids got murdered. And then it didn't shock me that some of you, shit, even a lot of y'all, try to act like, oh, you know, that happened over there. That happened, that happens in war. No, it don't. No, it don't. No, it does not. It does not happen like that. Niggas calm down shit when children get killed. Then you gotta take a step back, like, oh, I may be tripping. And I've been in the street, I've been through some war type shit. Nigga, you calm the fuck down. You be like, oh, we gotta do some shit different. Especially if you in control of some shit. Like, nah, we can't do that no more. Like, yo, innocent people got killed, children got killed. Fuck out of here. You motherfuckers keep on thinking. All right, people, I'm back. But yeah, I'm just saying, man, like, yo, just think about that shit. Just your morals as an American person. Motherfucker, if you black American or not, or whatever type of American, whatever race you from, yo, that shit ain't cool, yo, that America did that shit, yo. I ain't never forgetting that. That shit stuck in my head, bro. We killed innocent children, hundreds of children that was in school, and nigga, they ain't know they was gonna die. We know, listen, and I want motherfuckers in America to understand this. This keep talking about a threat to America and all that shit. We had the 9/11 shit. I get that. That's something different. Ain't nothing happened after that. Nothing. Even before that, ain't nothing happened like that unless we was at war. It is different. Nobody over here killing our children, bro. Bombing no fucking schools. Not about so-called our threat to humanity and no shit like that. That shit ain't happened. 9/11 is different. I get that. But no, ain't nothing happened to us like that. Killing our children in school. Nigga, we kill our children. We kill our children in this country. Ain't no motherfucking outside motherfucking entity killed our kids. Fuck we talking about? We go over there and if they made a mistake or not, nigga, we killed children. We murdered children, hundreds of them. And niggas is in there, that's a thing to go through war. What the fuck you talking about? And half of you motherfuckers ain't never been to war. You ain't never even been in a street war. And you talking about that comes with it. Fuck you talking about? You ask a real street nigga like me or motherfuckers come from the street, nigga, we don't kill kids, nigga. That's a no-no. You can get killed for killing kids. Fuck you talking about? I seen niggas get killed for killing kids on a mistake. They wasn't trying to kill nobody, but they killed the kid. Nigga, they wasn't good in the hood no more. Not in that street shit. And just because y'all morals ain't shit no more, don't mean the rest of us are okay with that bullshit. Fucking kids died, man. Got murdered. Assassinated, basically. The fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck they made a mistake or not, nigga. It's supposed to be consequences for that. Killing children and shit. And niggas sitting out here in America. We all sitting out here, we the greatest country in the world. You fucking goofies. I swear to God. And like I said, soon something happen to their kids, but they feel like their kids are threatened, all of a sudden they get amped, they upset. What about somebody else's kid? You hear these some of you stupid Americans in this country. It comes with it. Okay, they kill your kids, so you don't think a lot of them saying, we didn't want to kill kids, but, you know, that's the thing of war. The terrorists, you keep saying terrorists. Or your people that signed up for the war and they get killed over there. You think they want to kill these people? No. It happens in war. Chalk it up. You shouldn't be that mad then. That's somebody's kid. That's somebody's kids. What the fuck wrong with y'all, man? Anyway, let's move on.
Was abysmal. And just from a PR standpoint, dug a massive hole for the president, who believes that one of his driving forces being elected was the crackdown on the wave of illegal immigration he saw the 4 years prior. I think the American people are on the side of the law. They want the laws of this country upheld, both for immigration, for immigrants and those coming into this country illegally, but also for law enforcement. And I think the standard needs to hold for both. So a lot in that reporting you saw law enforcement not living up to their obligations.
Listen, let me say this. I think we all got lied to, right? If you say that, hey man, look, if Trump would have came out and said, look, we're arresting, if you here illegally, regardless if you committed a crime or not, you here illegally, and we gotta get you the fuck out of here. I guarantee you, probably about 65 to 70% of people in this country would have been okay with that. Guarantee you that. Right? Am I a part of that? If that was the law, yeah. I probably would be okay with it. Regardless if they committed a crime or not. You here illegally. So I've probably been okay with that. As long as they had the right process of getting them out of here, everything, it's a lot of stuff that come with that. But I probably would have been okay with it. I probably wouldn't have been as upset as I am now about it. Right? Or a lot of people. So that's not the issue about illegal immigrants for a lot of people in America. Right? Or some of the people in America. Our issue is how it's being handled. Right? And the transparency of it. He's been lying and deceiving not just MAGA, but everybody. He's been lying. So yes, it's an issue, it's a problem. Because he lied. I don't think a lot of people would have had a problem with him saying, look, they're illegal, they don't supposed to be here. They gotta go. I don't think people like me would have had a problem with it. If that was your shit. Or what you were saying. Nobody upset about that. But he lied. And that's the issue.
But also for law enforcement. And I think the standard needs to hold for both. So a lot in that reporting you saw law enforcement not living up to their obligations. But the underside of all of this, the context of all of this, is finally enforcing immigration policy, both of which are necessary.
All right, absolutely, we got to go after this. I just want to make a note, Trump has lost support on immigration since all of this has been going on.
Listen.
And I think
No shit. My bad, y'all.
I started posting math lessons on TikTok.
Right
I went from a
button.
class of 30 to teaching millions. Now it's parents, teachers, all finding new ways to connect with math.
My bad, y'all.
All right. This Saturday, Errol Spence fights Kim Sue in Australia.
Trump has lost support on immigration since all of this has been going on. And I think if there's any indication of how bad this is for him, it's at an issue that, yeah, he ran on and that.
I don't think it's that bad like y'all think. Right? I think we have a lot of people in this country, probably a good 40% of people in this country, regardless of party-wise, right? They could be Democrat, Republican, Independents. I don't really think, and just even if they are educated in the shit, it's not affecting them. So I don't think they really care. And that's the problem with America and the citizens that's in this country, people in this country. It's about 40% of us don't care. And it could be higher than that, but I'm just going to go ballpark figure. 40% of us don't care because it's not happening to us. So I don't think that people really care about what's happening to people in this country Like it's not happening to them, right? Especially when it is some people. Listen, are people caring about immigrants? This shit with immigrants when the economy is fucked up, groceries high. Are they really caring about what happens to immigrants? Do they really? Do a lot of people in this country really care? Or 40%? No, they don't. It's right higher than that. But I'm just saying, do they really care? No. Because it's not happening to them. They're not an immigrant. They don't care. Even they got family members, a percentage of that. Do they really care? No. Because a lot of them voted for it. But anyway, let's move on.
Has lost support on immigration since all of this has been going on. And I think if there's any indication of how bad this is for him, it's that an issue that, yeah, he ran on and that he maybe won on he's not maintained a lead on that. It's become, just like all the other issues, something that voters don't really trust him on, which is a problem for him.
And civil rights matter also, which were violated exponentially during this entire thing too.
Coming up next for us, New York City's.
But do they really care about civil rights? We already know the civil rights is about everybody. They like to always focus on black people when it comes to civil rights. Civil rights is about everybody. Right? We have proved that already. So it's not a discussion of civil rights. It's just only about black people. No, it's about everybody. Because our people is the only people in this country that actually give a fuck about civil rights. And we know that this shit matters to everybody. We are the culture of that. So, no. We're starting to even see minority groups, some minority groups that don't really care about civil rights. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, if it ain't happening to them, they don't care. Shit that happened to the people that don't hate black Americans or black people in this country, and some shit fucked up with them, it affects us. Because, listen, I'm going to tell y'all how this is a thing that happened in the civil rights era. And people say it's a fucked up thing, and I can get it, somehow black folks, but it actually helps us. Now, when they talk about civil rights, of course they're going to focus on black people. I get that. But what has happened is that, nigga, without the civil rights that you thought it was about black people, didn't just affect us. Now it's affecting y'all. And like I said, sooner or later, they'll get it, right? We thought they got it, but they don't get it. Keep thinking it's about black people shit, DEI and all that shit. Even DEI. They thought DEI was just about helping black people. No, nigga, who benefit more off of DEI is white women. And then second to that is the gay community. And then third of that is all other races of people. And then it affects black people. So then when you seen a lot of Chinese people that went against that shit, the Civil Rights Act and all that shit, they was a part of that. Look how it's happening for them now. They ain't shit. Fuck out of here. I ain't blaming that all on the Korean and Chinese people, but y'all people did that. Y'all helped fuck civil rights. That's why they can go and destroy shit because of y'all people. So when you see black people, we get mad, we get upset. Fuck you, acting like we ain't supposed to be upset. Y'all fucked up generations of movement that we fought for. And then y'all help somehow decide without enemies to help all of us because you weren't getting your way, or you felt that you weren't getting. First of all, you was always getting your way. And then, like I said, when it comes to Black Americans, motherfucker, yes, we supposed to get that. We the ones sacrifice more than y'all in this country. Fuck are you talking about? But like I said, it all backfires on them. You keep forgetting that Black people we certified. You can't really fuck with us. You can side with them racist white devils all you want. You can side with them all you want. All you minorities. You can side with them all you. Some of y'all side with them all you want. It never changed or what Black people put down. You can think you better than our race. Nigga, we already changed the fucking world. We already changed it. Nigga, we the culture. You get what I mean? We the culture. So all you did was tell Black people, a lot of us, that we got to educate our people more. And we need to be more with our people than everybody else. You almost segregated us. And then now y'all mad because we don't step up and do some things, or we say certain things y'all don't like. That's on y'all. Some of y'all. That ain't on us. We get mad at some of our people because we standing on business on certain shit. The fuck out of here, bro. That's on y'all. We good. You the motherfuckers that's mad and getting this backlash from the racist white people that we told you about. We tried to tell y'all, and now you mad at us? You can't be mad at us. Listen, you see all the racist shit they say? Or even some of the Black people that look like us, some of the immigrant Black people, you see all of them saying all that shit. They mad at us. For what? What you mad at us about? You ain't mad at the racists, but you mad at us. We are okay, we good. We ain't saying nothing and we still good. The same behavior that y'all feeling or what's going on, and it's about, we attacking y'all. Call it whatever you want to call it. But like I said, it means nothing to us. The problem is, just like racist white people and some of you minority people getting upset with us. You make us Black people got confidence. You keep, listen, we don't need you like we don't need them racist white people. We don't need you. We don't need some of you minority people. Fuck out of here, bro. We good. They so mad at us. Think about that shit, my people. Yeah, a lot of these, you see it all on the internet. These people be all mad at us. They be upset. They be like, oh my God, I can't believe Black Americans. They you know, this is the division between Black Americans and them and all this other shit. Nigga, y'all made it that. Y'all made it that. And you got mad because a lot of Black Americans say, yo, we done. Just because we said we wasn't fighting no more, you got upset. And we called some of y'all people out. We ain't call all of y'all. So all the motherfuckers that you see that come out, they do their videos on TikTok, whatever social media they do it on. They're mad because we was the ones, our people, me and myself, was calling these same minorities out. They mad because they all part of who we said they were. We ain't calling all minorities out. We calling the motherfuckers that did what they did. and standing on that bullshit they standing on. That's all it is. That's why they mad. That's why they making these TikToks and all this shit on social media. These are the same black sellouts or minority groups that sold their own people out, and you mad at black Americans. No, nigga, you sold your own people out. Now you mad at the black Americans. Okay, be mad at us. We don't give a fuck. A lot of us, we don't care. A lot of us, we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck what y'all mad about. Y'all ain't on the same level as us anyway. You sold your own people out, so you ain't on our level. And yeah, we gonna talk about y'all. Y'all ain't shit. Because y'all own people don't think y'all, some of y'all own people don't think y'all ain't shit. Fuck out of here. Motherfuckers mad at us. Be mad. I don't give a fuck. A lot of black people don't care. We don't give a fuck about some of you minority people. We don't give a fuck about none of y'all. You motherfuckers turned on your own people and then you mad at us. Please. I'm black. I'm a black American and I'm proud. I'm black, period, and I love my people, regardless if they ain't black American or not. Or the minority good people. I'm proud of y'all, love y'all. The rest of them, they sellouts. Just like I look at you motherfuckers like you sellouts, like black Americans. Some black Americans. The fuck? You act like I'm supposed to give a fuck about how y'all feel. I don't feel offended by y'all. I don't. Because I know who y'all are. Y'all a piece of shit. You sold your people out, so you think I ain't think you gonna sell us out? Fuck out of here. What up, Kay? Man, fuck out of here. I don't look at life the way that these motherfucking sellouts do. Right? And think about it. I never lie about this shit. I've been a sellout as well. Right? In my heydays of being in the streets. I sold my people out. So I know who you motherfuckers are. So I know. So, but to try to sit here and now that I know better and I'm educated and I get it shit with wisdom and shit, you motherfuckers don't hurt my feelings. You sellouts. I know a fucking sellout when I see it and hear it. What you signing with? Excuse me. What you signing with? Get the fuck out of here, bro. All the motherfuckers sitting there acting like I'm supposed to care about these people. Or you sellouts that like I'm supposed to care about your saying or how you feel. Fuck out of here. You gotta think about it. Imagine motherfucker tell you, oh, you race baiting about the Noah shit, right? The young black brother. They tell, oh, you just race baiting. Call it whatever you want to call it. Like I said, you don't hear stories about a whole bunch of black people at an island, and they're amongst, and this white person is amongst all these black people, and they wind up dead. You don't hear that. You don't hear that shit. You ain't never heard it. So these motherfuckers sit there and act like, well, we tripping. Or you race baiting. Call it whatever you want to call it, motherfucker. Like I said, you ain't never heard no white person give with a whole bunch of black people going to a boat trip or whatever. That where somehow, some way, that this white person or white child leaves a black situation and he wind up dead. You ain't never heard that. Ever. Ever, people. Never heard it. But every time you hear about it, or a black person or minority or somebody go with these white people and they come back dead. Or it's just, it's suicide. What the fuck? Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Nigga, I'm always, listen. I want a motherfucker to bring up a story where a white person, this is facts, a white person roll with some black people, all black people on a fucking island or a situation, or a black cookout, you could name whatever, and a white person come home and they dead. And there ain't no big investigation, motherfuckers cover it up or seem like it's a cover up. You will never see that, ever. So when these motherfuckers sitting out here talking about, oh my God, I can't believe, I'm sorry, when you see black people, we get upset about this shit. We like, yo, this shit is bullshit. This nigga investigation supposed to be, you get what I mean? And it's black people there, their leadership. Oh, nigga, it'd be an investigation, but it has never happened. Never. No white person has ever been amongst black people. Ever. In this country, they go around black folks. No white person go around black people. And they say, oh, it's just a suicide that happened. There's nothing there. You ain't never seen that. Ever. It's a big ass investigation. And first of all, like I said, it ain't no white people that go around black people. Go around been around black people. And somehow, some way, everybody okay with this white person being, it was just a suicide. It has never happened in history, ever, in this country, ever, ever. And everybody just like, yeah, that just happened. It was just a suicide. Or, I'm sorry, not even just a suicide. Oh, my bad. You know what? The motherfucker just drowned. Nobody had nothing to do with it. It has never happened, ever. In American history, it has never happened. You can't no white person being amongst black people and a motherfucker die. No, fuck out of here, bro. Like I said, do y'all understand that they only do it to black people? They only do it to us. Now it's an issue. Now, even when black people, sometimes the black people, oh, you race baiting. My bad, you just race baiting. We race baiting now. Ain't no white person ever been around a whole bunch of black people like that. Even at a cookout. Nigga, that wouldn't happen. A white person just die. And they be like, oh, we just gonna chalk it up, but it was an accident. It would never happen. And it's a never happen. Not it won't just happen. It would never happen. Nigga, they investigating why this white kid or this white person died around a whole bunch of black people. And they were surrounded by black people. That would never happen. Ever. And it ain't never happened. So when people say, oh, y'all using race and all of that shit, nigga, yes. Because it would never happen around us. Ever. You think white people will let that shit go? Regardless if they racist or not, they wouldn't let that shit go. Oh, man, something happened there, bro. Imagine black people or with a white person come, get the fuck out of here, man. On my old, you know, it just was an accident. That would not be okay with white people, not white America. The fuck out of here. And they sitting there acting like we supposed to let this shit go. That shit would not happen. If all this shit that y'all saying, oh, we should let it go, it's just an accident. You wouldn't let that shit go with a white person? Yeah, so race matter. Who the fuck in their right mind in the white community would be like, oh, yeah, it's just an accident. Everything happened the way it happened. You know, just take the word of the local police, and it's all black police. Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck who you are. You can keep trying to pretend that, but I guarantee you, ain't no way you'll let that shit go. No way. Real talk. And they sitting there and they lying. They lie to black people. They sit there and act like, oh, we'd let that. No, you wouldn't. I don't give a fuck who you are. Hey, get the fuck out of here. Like I said, man, I'm out, man. 'Cause like I said, these motherfuckers, like I said, if it ain't happening to you, you don't care. A lot of people in this country do not care about what happened to others. They don't. That's why I said I'll bring it up. It's like, yo, they don't give a fuck about that black brother getting killed like that. A lot of white people don't. No, that shit should be uproar. Ain't no motherfucking way motherfuckers acting like, oh, that shit don't matter. Or it was just a mistake. Ain't no mistake, bro. Even if it was a mistake, a lot of you white people are not letting that shit go. White people don't die in our presence like that. You call it race baiting, you call it whatever you want. White people are not dying in black presence like that with no investigation. Everybody's like, oh, this is just a mistake. It's not ever happening like that. Sorry to tell you fucking racist ass white people, or some of y'all ain't racist, but it's not happening in no black community. If this shit happened, if this white, this is what happened to Noah. This was a white dude, and he went off with black people, even at a cookout, a black cookout, right? Because there's a difference. A black cookout. Because you white people will lose your mind. You be out your fucking mind. But he just, you know, get the fuck out of here. Even after we said and that all black people in our community and say, no, it was just an accident. Y'all ain't letting that go. There's no way impossible. But y'all want black people to be like, oh, it's acceptable of, you know what? They said, hey, nothing bad happened. Black people should just get over it. You would not allow that to go. Even the good white folks. You're not letting that shit go. Something wrong with that. That shit don't sound right. So please stop. Stop trying to act like y'all so much better. Y'all moral level is better. You're not. The fuck out of here, man. And talk shit about black people and then act like, oh, or you say, oh, I'm on black people's side. No, you not. There ain't no way y'all letting that shit slide like that. No way impossible. If black people, he was in amongst black people and he just died and we just say, oh, you know what? Natural cause. The fuck out of here. You know what I mean? It was an accident. You're not letting that go. You're going to be on that shit. Regardless if you racist or not, or you bigoted or not, you're not letting that go. You're not letting that go. Fuck out of here, man. Anyway, people, I'm out of here, man. Leave your comments. Hit that like button. Support your boy. It's your boy, Mr. OBF. Peace and love to the world. But I just want people to understand that, man. Get the fuck out of it. Don't listen. I'm not saying all white people is racist and shit, but I'm just saying we all got bias and we all listen, and we don't all grow up the same. And so y'all all try to sit there and be like, oh, we'll let that go. No, you won't. You're not letting that go. That shit don't even sound right. If a white person, you know, in that situation, like, get the fuck out of here, bro. One of y'all died and all of a sudden, oh, this just was an accident. You ain't letting that shit go. Anyway, leave your comments, hit that like button. Support your boy, Mr. OBF. Peace and love to the world.